All right. Can you
Okay.
hear us? Can you hear us now?
Hello.
Yes. Yes. The stream was intentionally muted. That was on purpose. I swear. Can you hear us? Are we?
Yeah, you gotta give him a second to catch up, Alex.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
like immediately
Yes.
go.
Yes. Can we hear gamers? Is it
Alex
working?
muted again. Classic kick W.
Yes. No. That was intentional this time. That was not a mistake. I intended for us to be muted. Uh, we were talking to each other, not to you. I promise.
Yeah.
Um, So, anyways, without further ado, guys, the set to Shenzhen National Open review. Hopefully, this will be the last time we have to review deck lists in this godforsaken meta, but who knows what roller coaster of an experience these devs have in mind for us. So, but I am praying this is the last time I ever have to talk about decks in this meta. Not that I don't love talking about decks, but yeah, it's I've had enough Draven mid range Draven miracles in Aurelia to last a lifetime. So I don't know what else I can say about these decks. I've seen Rockfall Path one too many times. There's nothing left to be said. I need to change, guys. Uh, so, anyways, let's get into it. We didn't do anything special this weekend, so we have nothing to discuss. I think Colin Colin showed up to another. You played another one of your skirmishes, right?
Yeah, of course.
Did you play a
Although I
fun
don't
deck,
really
or
have
did
any
you
this
just
weekend. It's
show up
fun
with
to
miracles?
me.
That means no, you didn't. You showed up with miracles again and flattened everybody, didn't you?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure they love you there. Big fan.
They actually do. Everybody loves me.
Oh, Colin, thank you. What would I have done on this Saturday afternoon if not to be flattened by miracles for the 30th week in a row? Oh, I'm having so much fun. Uh,
Yeah. Well, I just make it a different kind of game for them because I just give them all the pricing. Nobody there actually cares about the buys, so it makes things work out.
yes.
At least on a local level.
So, anyways, let's get right into it, guys. God, I hope I never have to do this again. But hey, look, it's not Draven in first place, so maybe there's something to talk about there. And oh my God, it's a fucking Aurelia deck with one gust. Oh my God. Oh, Dorn's Ring. That's new. I don't even know. What is this when I conquer? What is this? You draw a card? Oh, discard one, then draw one. What the hell is this in here for? Alright, whatever. He won. What do I know? I've lost. I've lost the will to critique these people. Oh, look, it's one gust. Oh, look, it's one this, it's one that, it's one this, it's one. Yeah, I get it. You hate.
I'm sorry. Did you win a ring, Alex?
Nope, I didn't. That's true. I have no room to talk. I'm accepting my fate at this point. So there's
Hmm.
nothing else to say. I've
This is
just
the
kind
first
of
place list. Let me
yeah. This is
actually
a this is in fact the first place
put
list.
up on my side as well because I don't trust your navigation skills sometimes.
Oh, I'm a great navigator. That's my whole
I do
thing.
say so. I'm fine
Playing
then. Yeah,
against
to be
Colin and
fair, it's fine. Like people are chill with it. I just give them the playmat, and that's what anyone's ever out there for, anyways. They do feel some sort of way that they don't get the actual win sometimes, but
this is okay.
whatever. They weren't
We've
gonna
got a
win
hard
against me
bargain.
anyways, so
We've got a hard bargain in the side. Jesus. We're I guess we're
this is
trying to
very
stop.
gear light.
Guess we're trying
This
to
first
stop the time
price
warps.
list.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think you
mean
need
one of
one
these.
hard bargain in the list at least, one or two. I like. Just because otherwise, like, you're gonna run into the Kaisa players who have no choice but to go for the time warp win. And if you don't have the bargain, then you just like leave yourself open to it. The deck draws enough cards because Herder is a nonsense fake card that shouldn't exist, right? So like you might as well just abuse that while you can.
Yeah, I mean there's not much else to say about this list. I mean, I guess hard bargain. I swear that's just for like time warp or something. Maybe singularity, but nah, not so fast stop singularity. So just time warp. Otherwise, I don't know why
Mhm.
we need this hard bargain. Like, I don't see what else it could
Sure.
possibly be here for. I guess maybe it could be used to stop thermo beam. That's the other one. Is like if you, but he doesn't play enough equips for that to even like. He doesn't play enough gears for that to even like matter. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the benefits this list has. I think realistically, you always have to put yourself in a position where you're either on like the gear plan or you're on the aggressive plan. I'm still kind of a big fan of playing the less on the units and more on like the gears and just assembling more Voltron, similar to Phil's list. But that's just my personal opinion. So
Yeah, there's not much else to see there. We're gonna be speeding through a lot of this. A lot of this is gonna be too like meta discussion predictions. Our final ban list predictions. I swear we're done telling you about what we want banned, what we think should be banned. It's either happening or it's not, and we're either right or we're wrong. It's somewhere on that axis of four options. So
you're right. One thing I will say about these lists is playing like less than six respawners just seems like, well, you call them respawners. Zanyas and GAs is just
Respawner's a great name.
nonsense to me.
I don't know. Someone else came up with that. I read that or heard someone else say it. I didn't come up with that, so I won't claim credit, but I forget who. But yes, respawners. I'm going to make
Mhm.
that the term, guys. Start calling them respawners at your locals. And if you want to, you can credit me with it. That's what I call these cards. They're respawners.
Yeah, these first and second place lists are just complete nonsense.
Edge of Night and
No.
Aurelia. Oh my god. What is going
I mean, if
on?
you saw the way that you got distracted in the finals, but the finals game. Listen, I get that it was probably late, but that was some of the most egregious, terrible play I've ever seen in my entire life. Was in the finals of Aurelia v Aurelia. So, um, I would be ashamed if what happened to me happened to this, or what happened to this guy on camera happened to me.
I
That's all I
mean,
will say.
it was a. I saw game one and it was a beating. Like it was a. It was definitely an ass whooping. It definitely felt like a go first ass whooping, but it was an ass whooping nonetheless.
I mean, it was mostly I mostly tabbed in for the last turn of game two, where the guy got second lost, and there were about eight different ways that that guy could have won that turn, and he somehow found a way to miss on all of them. So it was something else.
Yeah, so yeah, CN lists, China lists are kind of jank. Whatever. I mean, the two sorry, not American, the two non I guess one of them's European. So I'll just call them the two white guys. The two white guys that have gone over separate region people who've gone over to China have said that China players on average are better than both NA and EU, and both of them have played in those regions. I don't buy it personally. I've seen nothing on
Mhm.
stream to reflect that to reinforce that statement, but what do I know? I
The
haven't
one
been.
thing I could maybe say, if that's their specific argument, is that like the average player may be better over there because we don't get to see the exact average. And the one thing I'll note is like there's a lot of stuff that they don't. They're a lot cleaner with their gameplay over in China. It seems like where like they don't really seem to miss their triggers as much. Granted, the guy lost in the finals because he missed his trigger in game two, but like on average, it seems like at least compared to the opponents that I end up playing, they don't miss their triggers as much. They seem to know a lot more things, but then they just like use all this information to somehow come up with the incorrect play every single time. So that's where I think a lot of it is. Additionally, I'll say that like it seems like over there they treat games in such a way that like if you have it, you have it a lot more than over here. I've seen a lot of players in like NA and EU put themselves into positions where like they overthink situations and they put themselves in spots where they just like guaranteed lose rather than just being like shrug if you have like the rebuke or the buff spell or whatever then I guess you got me. they'll
That
just full send it over there.
that
They don't
that's
they don't care.
I fuck with that style of play a little bit. I am definitely a make 'em have it type of guy. I don't recommend
Mhm.
doing it a lot, but I can tell you, I feel like in my career of card games, I've definitely gotten away a lot more with the make 'em have it. Like I've said, you know what, have it, and they don't have it, then I feel like I should get away with. So maybe it reinforces this symbol monkey esque behavior, like the little symbol monkey firing in my brain, going, do it. Like he doesn't have the out, he doesn't have the
Yeah.
out, and you know the look of disgust in your opponent's face. You know it immediately when you risk the whole game on them having this one thing, and you if you've seen it before, you know the look of disgust in your opponent's face when they're like, this motherfucker is not seriously attacking into my instantly lose the game out, and I don't have it to punish him. And it's
Mhm.
like the best response is, and I've heard this. It doesn't happen every time, but there are a few times where you do the thing and your opponent's like, you know, if I have this, you lose. I'm like, doesn't look like you have it, bud. Sorry. So yeah, there's no better feeling in the world than making them have it and them not having it. So
Yeah, for sure. What's this nonsense Draven miracle list with 3 Darius Trifarians in it?
yeah, everything
What's
else
going on
looks
with
like
that?
almost standard. Like, okay, 2 rebukes a bit much, but like fine, whatever. Like 2 acts, okay. This is like, it's like it wants to be mid range, but it also wants to be miracles.
Yeah,
I'm a little
very
perplexed by this
strange.
one.
What did we
Yeah,
cut for these? I mean, I see we cut a Rasa, a
no bushwhack,
Nocturne,
no
and a
bushwhack me.
Fizz, and a Bushwhack.
What, 2 Ross is
We have
crazy.
it.
That's
We
criminal.
have one. A third Rasa's on the board. Don't you worry, bud.
What? What does it come in? Sorry, I'm still getting a little over a little sickness. What does it come in for?
That's a good question. I don't really have an answer for you.
Yeah. Someone said you're even having 42% conversion rate into day 2 is kind of dumb, though. I remember someone had a spreadsheet. Yeah, it was, I forget what percent of top cut it was. It was top 16. Oh, so for those of you that don't know, China decided to mix it up a little bit this time with one of the worst formats I've ever heard of. It's 10 rounds, so they had 2,048 players or whatever. 2,048 players, yeah. 10 rounds. Which at 2,048 players, for reference, the appropriate amount of rounds would be, let's see, 256 to 512 is 9, 512 to 1,000 is 10. So it's one less round. It should be 11 rounds, I think, by my, 256 to 512. Yeah, so it should be 11 rounds. So they did one less round, but top 16. So they added an extra round to the top 16. However, in this format, and you can check me on the Swiss Triangle, I might be wrong here. In this format, you can miss at X1, which is a
Yes.
crazy, insane thing. That's I was actually going to try to go to this China event, even though I didn't like the format. Because I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try to run this China event. And then I like messaged Randy, and I was talking to him about it, and he's like, yeah, just so you know, it's 10 rounds, top 16. You can miss at X1. I'm like, yeah, no thanks. I'm not playing this. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I
I
don't.
mean, yeah.
I don't understand how nobody in this game can agree on how many rounds it's supposed to be, what top cut's supposed to be. I feel like they're doing like musical chairs where they're like, all right, extra round of Swiss, 2 more rounds of top cut, one less round of top cut, 2 more rounds of Swiss. Like, like, I don't know. Feels crazy to me the way they do it, but
All X1's made it. Yeah, I mean, given the way that over there they tend to slow play, the amount of draws probably like forced a lot of people out of contention.
so
So it makes sense to me that all X1's made it, but mathematically there were a lot of X1's that could have missed. So,
yes.
but yes, it was only because of all the draws. So
Yes. So and we've got it's a Draven mid range deck. 3 Bryn here, 1 Ferris. It's so unique. I'm just making noises.
many such cases.
Yeah. Well, here we
The
are.
one against the odds is kind of crazy. I guess people expected a lot more miracle at this event, to
Was
be
there not
fun
a
and
lot
stuff
of
like
miracle?
that.
Oh,
I don't really know. Nobody over there seemed to know how to play the deck, so I think you could have just like relied on your opponents to drool on themselves, and you would have been okay into the miracle decks. So, um,
Oh look, it's Draven. Oh my god.
yeah, Draven's entirely third through seventh is crazy.
Ferris Forerunner one main in a Miracles deck is insane. This deck is like
Hmm.
completely standard almost, except this guy put one Ferris Forerunner in the main and only
He has
one
one Ride the
Nocturne.
Wind as well.
Yeah, but like at least that one's like weird, but not too weird. All right, we're gonna skip by all these.
Mhm.
We're gonna skip by all these Draven decks because
What
nobody
should
wants
he
to see that.
cut off my list? He doesn't have a hard bargain. He has a Ride the Wind, and then he has a Forerunner over what? This looks exactly like my list. I can't. It's like one card off of my list.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, and this guy's using the War Camp. Okay.
this is
Then nonsense sideboard. That's basically my sideboard. This guy clearly just took my list and changed like two cards.
yeah. So
Is
this
this
is
the
not
Silver
this.
list?
Yeah, this is not a Draven list. I figure we'll go over this just to make it more interesting. It's the Silver Miracles deck. I mean, it's pretty. I don't want to say standard because this deck is like far from standard, but it's pretty. It looks what we've come to know and love out of Silver Miracles. Bunch of sabos, one rebuke, some challenges. Man, they love Edge of the Night. They're like I've never like I don't experience Edge of the Night even close to what I have seen in China over here in America. Man,
Hmm.
they love Edge of the Night. Um, and yeah, I don't see it personally, but I guess more power to them. I just I think this might be a copy of Randy's OG list because there's a Cannon Barrage in here, or
Yeah. I see a question here while you cough and choke. Just recently bought the set guide and Discord access. Do you have any tips for the Aurelia matchup? Locals have a lot. The matchup feels rough for me. How should I attack? I was liking the set Kingpin out of the board as like a strategy into Aurelia, to be honest, just because you like present enough might that they have to keep using buff spells and eventually you run them out of it. So that's what I was trying, but honestly, it's something I'm gonna have to revisit a little bit. We're kind of in this weird lull right now where everybody's expecting a ban list, and until they officially announce it one way or another, no one really wants to like commit a bunch of time to testing when the format is in theory just going to change, and nobody knows exactly what they're going to do. So that's why I haven't updated a lot of stuff. I think I just recently updated all the Draven Guide stuff in the past day. But yeah,
Manch asking
I
the real questions. Why is there an orange seal in the sideboard? I don't know, man. I don't even know where these things
um,
come in. I would pay. Like I wish I could like message some of these winners. Like there's a way to message them and be like, let me see your sideboard guide. I want to see what some of these China deck sideboard guides look like. Like, where are you citing this? Is it all vibes? Like, I would actually respect them more if they're just like, man, I don't really know. I just kind of put it in there last minute. That'd be more respectable than like, no, trust me, you need this. If you happen to play against Lux Control, you need this fourth seal. I'd be like, all right, bud, you got it. But like, if they were just like, I don't know, it was 1 a.m. I was in the room and I saw a seal to the side of me. I was using it as a coaster and I thought, you know what? This would look great in my sideboard. That'd be a way more respectable answer in my opinion. I would love that answer way more than some in-depth reason as to why they needed one gust in the side and none in the main. So yes, Rengar is going to be I think something I'm going to be working on for next set. So we'll see how that goes. Uh, what's next? So we've got Kaisa. Uh, Nature is healing. Kaisa is starting to play units in her main board again. Um, and that is something I want to talk about a little bit here because I think this is closer to where we're going to see Kaisa deck start being if we get a ban list. I think if we do get a ban list, I think the one at that everybody thinks about is okay, called shot, sure, called shot, whatever. What comes further, hard to say, but let's say they do hit Draven in some manner. and Draven falls kind of by the wayside. Aurelia is definitely going to be a deck that picks up, and Aurelia just rolls Kai'Sa in its current form, absolutely obliterates it. So I think we will see the Kai'Sa decks having to start playing like the Ferris Forerunners in the main, maybe some Brynhirs to combat Aurelia. What do you think, Colin? Darius is.
I don't know if Darius really helps that matchup. I remember when we were testing the Get Excited version, it wasn't terrible. Like you can Thermo Beam for their respawners and then try and use the Get Excited to apply some pressure. Like Ferris Forerunner is obviously very good into Aurelia just because typically they have to like commit a resource into breaking it and then you just get these extra bodies that can help quite a bit. But yeah, I think Kai'Sa typically ends up being in this awkward spot where like even in the best case scenario you can get to like maybe a 50-50 into Aurelia and then you're just gonna make your matchup so much worse than everything else. So it's rough for her for sure, and I think that's why we saw her have such a poor conversion ratio despite her being the second most played deck, right? All of the Aurelias and Dravens being the only real decks in this event. Yeah, if you weren't playing one of those, then you were just kind of trolling.
I do think it would be a bit of a maybe an oversight. Maybe oversight's not the word I'm looking for, but I do feel it would be a mistake. This is like one of those instances that I've talked about before where you hit one deck, you have to recognize what's going to rise to the top, and maybe like a preemptive hit to Aurelia. I don't know what that would look like, to be honest. Like how you would hit it. I've seen people say Obelisk of Power, but that like hits every deck, so I don't know if that applies to Aurelia. I can't really think of what else you would hit in the Aurelia deck to make her work. Like you're not going to ban the Sig spell. That would be just over. That would just kill the deck. I'd like to see Herder personally. That would probably kill the deck too. But like, I just think Herder's not a card that should exist in its current form. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's still.
that's.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'll rant about Herder once we get to if we get to a ban list discussion or something like that. But that card obviously should not exist in any way. And if a deck is built in such a way that like it needs this egregious card in order to exist, like it should probably just go. I mean, if that card was in like orange, for example, or order, maybe I'd be more okay with it. But the fact that you're giving it to green that has about a million ways to protect it and it can just ride infinitely and just give you access to infinite cards is just not okay. So
Yeah, I mean,
I see this Minotaur Reckoner
Yeah,
here.
I was
I
about
guess
to
that's like
say
it sounds better than it actually plays out. I can tell you matter of factly, just given that like it can just get charmed and then you're like, oh well, why did I board this in? All right.
Angle Shot is a funny one.
Yeah. Everyone I've talked to wants a Stellacorn ban, and we're right there with you. I hope to God that is one of the cards is on the ban list, because holy hell.
So there was a Fiora deck. This is the only deck. So the decks that made top cut were one Kai'Sa, one Sivir, one Fiora, and all Aurelian Draven. The rest was all Jamaican from there. It was just complete lethal. Just every Aurelia Draven, Aurelia Draven, Aurelia Draven. So yeah, it's kind of pretty clear where the format's at. Nobody's fucking around with the metal card stuff. It seems as much anymore. People are just trying to win. We've got a Fiora deck.
People still are, but I think that once
Yeah,
it gets to the higher levels, that like this sort of competition where there's actually a reason for you to play for something other than the medals, then unless you just got lucky through Swiss, like you're gonna play one of the real decks, right? Like that's what we see here. So
and I do think too. One of the things is maybe this is a factor, maybe it's not, but for those who've been paying attention, so two things here. The first one is, as I was told, this is what Randy told me, is that the best of metal cards get mailed out from China, so you don't get them immediately. Again, I don't know how this factors in people's decision for metal card. The second part is that these what is it? These metal cards are actually not selling nearly even close to as high as their English counterparts. And there have been some up on eBay from the first wave, some of the set one ones that have been going up on eBay. And I think they've been going. I see them selling for like a couple grand. It was not a lot. Like I think I saw one sell for like $3,000 or $4,000, which I don't know enough about the economy of China to know how much $3,000 or $4,000 is for the average Chinese person. It could be a lot. It could not be. I don't know. But like for me personally, if you told me that all the best of cards were now three or $4,000 as a American, uh, I would tell you there's no chance I'm ever going for a metal card. I don't care anymore. Like if I'm playing a deck, it's just going to be whatever I think the best deck is, or maybe my pet deck. But I have no interest at that amount of money to play a metal card, and maybe that had some factor now that the prices are kind of a known variable. Now where people are like, all right, well, I see these are only selling for $3,000-$4,000 and or whatever the equivalent is in Chinese money. So no, okay, but like, okay, so I understand if you're okay. This is a real discussion point, though. It's not that I don't think 4K is a lot of money. It's that if you're someone like me who is like my objective is to win, right? Like I know there's a lot more prize money in winning. I am not sacrificing my chance at a top cut to win 4K when I see the money beyond that is just worth so much more. Playing a real deck and actually making it to top cut and getting my invite to whatever the next thing up is, and potentially earning those top cut promos or a chance to win. Like we also have a brand too, so you have to consider like what doing well does for our brand. Now, Best of Metal Card does something too, but it doesn't do as much as winning does. That's for damn sure. So that is something that I have, maybe for people like me and Colin, that's something that we factor in that maybe your average person does not, and maybe I'm not putting myself in other people's shoes well here, but yeah. So from my perspective, from our perspective, it is about EV. 15,000 or $10,000 for the worst metal leader you can imagine is crazy money. But when we're talking like 4,000 and it's like I have to play like an actual decent leader, it's like now I'm just trying to play whatever the best thing is. Like one of our boys got the best of Rumble. He got 10K on the spot for it. That's crazy. He went 5-3. Just he had to win 5 games or 5 matches. That's it. So
He might have had a bye, so maybe only had to win 4.
yeah, he actually did have a bye. So he only had to win 4 matches. He won 4
There you
matches
go.
and got $10,000. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah. That being
Right.
said, this event did have some real prize money in it, so I think a lot of it is just based on the percentages that we saw as well of overall decks that were played. Like there were still a ton of people that were still metal carding, right? I think of the real decks, it ended up being about 40% were Draven, Aurelia, Kaisa, and even then, obviously given the conversion ratio, the only actual real decks were Draven and Aurelia. With Draven had like a 19% play rate. I think Aurelia had like I want to say 11, maybe 10 or 11. So there were only 30% real decks that are actually played. So, when it comes to a lot of these decks that made top 16, the thing that you need to understand is people probably just had the God run where they didn't play into any real Aurelia or Draven players or whatever their specific thing is. The reason why metal leaders are metal leaders is because they just have some sort of matchup. Typically, it's going to be either Draven or Aurelia that they just can't win. Rumble is 0% to Draven. That matchup you just cannot win. There's nothing you can do. Just move on. Like you're playing a mid-range hold deck that relies on shield against the best breaking deck in the game. It's not going to happen, right?
Right.
So, but like these people, like this guy who has 2 hooks in his deck, there's a real possibility that this guy just couldn't afford or couldn't find the 3rd hook, played through the entire event and just played into random people who didn't know what they were doing and were able to go X1 and just get absolutely rinsed in top 16. Like that's a real possibility. Yeah, really 11%. So only 30% were actually on the real decks. Well, that means 1 in 3 people you're going to play against are going to have a real deck. Obviously, it's going to cascade given that 42% of Dravens made day 2. But even at that number, there's going to be some people. There are only 3 rounds until Swiss. The same thing even happened at Vegas. We saw like a random Rek'Sai that was. There were 6 of us that were 8-0 in day one. It was 3 Dravens, I think maybe an Aurelia, Allen, and then a random guy on Rek'Sai who just got like the god bracket. He was sitting next to me every game, and he just played into like a volley bear at 6-0 or 7-0. He played into like Aurelias, which are a pretty good matchup because you just have cold weeks and stuff. Like you can't just do results oriented thinking when it comes to all this stuff. So that's my long-winded rant to say when you see a guy with 2 hooks in his list, don't take it as gospel of like, oh my god, this guy made top 16 of 2,000 people, that this guy must be the GOAT. You just gotta understand that like people can get lucky, and as a matter of fact, when there are 2,046 people, mathematically somebody is gonna get lucky.
Somebody did exactly, right. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
remind me
One of those 2,000 people is gonna hit the lottery. Same thing with lottery. Like, yes, it's mathematically impossible that you're gonna get it, but mathematically, when so many people are playing it, somebody's gonna hit.
right. So, and I so I recently gave Fiora a go again. Trying to like I was in the process of kind of writing a guide for her, and I was like, okay, I'll try Fiora again, and I was pretty dead set on hook Fiora. I felt this deck was too weak to try to play a fair game. Like it had to do the hook thing and kind of high roll its way out to win. And I played both variants a good chunk. Like I spent a week on them, and I'm gonna be real with you. I have absolutely no idea how this deck keeps making top cut. I have no idea how it's made finals. These people they are either they're either the goats, or every opponent they play against is just like on autopilot. Because I do not understand how this deck is winning through multiple rounds of Draven, multiple rounds of Aurelia, multiple rounds of what is it, of Miracles, multiple rounds of just every other deck out there, Kaisa, like all these different. I mean, Kaisa I can see, but like the rest, I don't get how it's beating these decks. This one doesn't even have the Harness Dragon in it, so like there's no even high roll to have with this. Like you're just kind of like, I don't even know why the hook's in here.
Yeah.
I guess for Spectral Matron. Like,
I mean, I'm guessing that's why we have the 2 hooks in here is just for like random value or something. But then we're playing like these 3 spectromations. I guess Fiora helps facilitate that card, and now we get like 6 first mates, which is kind of nice. But yeah, I don't know. This is part of the deck that was just like my long-winded rant of, it's. I mean, maybe there's some parts of this that's good. Is this the perfect list if you were to run through a simulation? I can guarantee you that's not the case. Like this. There's too many 1-ofs and 2-ofs for this to ever be the perfect configuration mathematically.
right. I just, yeah. For me, this deck, it's just a very fair deck. If you watch the stream, you'd know which one it is, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I only caught the finals. I caught some of day one, but I did not catch top cut the day before, so I cannot know for certain. But I'm going to guess you're implying that a lot of these opponents were not great.
Yeah. I mean, it just comes down to the nature of like, even my opponents in my Vegas run, I played against a lot of people that were not the greatest until I ran into like Prismat and Allen. Even then, I watched those kids. So it's like,
Oh, don't be modest now, Colin.
at the end of the day, like just given the nature of how these systems work, in the China event, it was all lottery based on who got in, right? For over here in NA, it's functionally lottery who gets in, given that there are lots of people who weren't able to get their tickets, and you had to just be there at the right time for the 10 to 15 minutes that the tickets are available. So,
So yeah, I do think that this deck is not something I would ever try to replicate with the hopes of making top cut. I actually gave up writing a guide on this because I literally couldn't win with this deck. I was like Maybe it's because I'm playing against really good opponents, but like I was playing this in a Draven, into Miracles, into Aurelia, and I was just baffled. I was like, I don't understand how this deck keeps making top cut, keeps making finals, keeps beating these Dravens. Like, I've seen some of the matches, so I do know a little bit, but like, if I had to choose between two of these, I'm choosing the Hook version all day. At least the Hook version can high roll its way out. Like, it does some cool tricks. It sacks the unsung hero with the BF sword to draw two and finds a dragon. Like, that stuff is cool. Like, that's good, but that's even like at the end of the day, that's still just like the very top end of a fair mid range deck. Like, that's the best thing that the like most fair mid range deck you can imagine can do. So like that's like its unfair thing. And like that's fine in a world where we're playing good mid range deck the game. Unfortunately, the game of Riftbound is 75% of decks are good mid range deck the game, and 25% of decks are Miracles, Aurora, Draven mid range, like the most unfair mid range deck you can think of. Aurelia, which is just like invalidating, like all these decks that just invalidate combat and mid range decks as a whole. So I don't think this stuff rides in current Riftbound at least. And based on what I'm seeing for next set, I don't think the fair mid range deck is going to exist in any form anymore. Colin, what do you think?
Sure. I zoned out for a second, as I often do when you start talking for too long. But I
Wow,
agree with
I
you,
listen to
or disagree
you.
with you.
I listen to you
Yeah,
when
well,
you
I'm
start talking.
interesting, so.
You think of the two of us, who you think is more interesting to listen to talk? It's
No,
definitely
you're definitely
yeah.
more interesting to listen to. I'm more insightful, but you always have some crazy shits
That
going
I could
on.
agree.
So
Yes, I insightful, sure. Interesting, nah, no way.
I did see or hear the last bits where I do agree that we're not moving in the realm of like fair mid range, which is kind of sad to see, honestly. I think that's what makes Riftbound the most interesting is when you have these like very interactive based turns and combats, and you want as many of those as possible. If there's one thing I was to critique on the game right now is I think the way the game is being designed right now is that the games end a little bit too quickly on like one bad interaction that doesn't go your way. You just don't have a way to ever catch up again. And I think part of that is also due to like the play draw disparity. Some of the cards that exist right now that are a little bit too egregious, So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there was no Crash Out Gunny. I'm already broken. Like 2 months of reading these lists, and there's nothing I can see in a list anymore that'll surprise me. I've seen decks with 8 different cards in their sideboards. We saw that one deck that had 13 one-ofs in the main. There's nothing that could break me now. There's just nothing that could possibly tilt me any further than what I've already seen out of these China lists. Like
there is one thing, but we haven't seen it yet.
which is what
So
3 Rockfall
I feel
paths.
like yeah, exactly. A bunch of rockfall paths in the top
Yeah,
60 and
I said if in an NA or an EU top cut, and I stand by this. I will stand by this commitment. I'm sure someone's already clipped it, but if someone makes top 8 with a Rockfall path in their deck, I will give out, what did I say? I said I'll give out a booster box of the newest set. I'll give out 2 free guides. I'll give out a month of Diamond, all out of my own pocket. You show me someone in the NA EU regional who makes top cut with Rockfall path, and I mean top 8, not top 64, top 8. I'll
yeah.
give away infinite shit. You find me someone who tops with that. No. Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you, Gunny. I am
That's
feeling a little better. Throat's still sore. Got a bit of a cough, but nothing a little talking can't fix.
it's like League one mistake and you get snowballed on. Yeah, that is definitely the case right now. And I mean, I don't mind games that are that punishing where you can snowball a mistake, and I do think there's some merit to like if my opponent makes a mistake and I don't, then I should be the one who wins, right? But it feels like the disparity of some mistakes are so like significant in this game where you just like lose everything, just given how combat currently works, where you can just like make a guy huge might, and if I'm a 15 over your 14 and you could have like gotten one more might somehow, then that goes from you immediately winning the game by like being able to trade or like to losing the game, just based on like how big these might numbers are already getting. So
Um, Yi. This is just the Yi mid-range deck, the Camel mid-range deck that we've seen. I think I've made my opinion pretty clear on this deck. It's one path to victory against Draven is like this, at least regular Draven. I don't even know about Miracles. I don't think I've even tested that yet, but its path to victory looks
Oh
like
no,
this.
there's no world.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's turn one. It's go first. Turn one, Zanya's Hourglass or GA. Turn two, Triforce. Turn three, Camel. You do all three of those things going first. You'll probably be Draven every single time. You just put the respawner on Camel. Put the Triforce on Camel. They literally can't break it. It's over. They have lost. Like next turn, you just leave all your stuff up. You leave all your thwonks. You leave all your punch first. The game ends. They cannot outscore you. They cannot force enough might into you. The game is just instantly over. Outside of that exact line, I don't know what this deck beats. It's probably okay into Aurelia. It's probably fine into Aurelia.
I feel like it's going to be terrible into Aurelia, right? Like, what are we doing into Aurelia with all this nonsense?
You just put Rune Runner and Triforce, and then you hold up some Thwonks and hope for the best, right? Like punch first.
Yeah, I guess
they
it's
can't
fair.
target it with Sig Spell. They can't rebuke it. They can't fight or flight it. Like they just have to beat it with raw might. So like
yeah, maybe the punch first on the Camel's enough.
Yeah.
To break through there.
It's certainly got to be good in Nikaisa. That's one place I'm fairly convinced that it's pretty solid into is in Nikaisa. There's no way they're ever breaking.
I mean, this deck's biggest issue is it's like its own. Just look at the cards in the deck. Like,
no draw.
Sea
Monkey. We're playing
no
Sea
consistency.
Monkey.
We have so much filler in this deck. Like,
it's not even that I think Sea Monkey's a bad card, but look at all the two drops that get played right now in the current format, and you know you're down fucking bad if Sea Monkey's your third best 2-drop. Like we're talking about decks in this meta where their third best 2-drop is fucking Tide Turner or Treasure Hunter, and you gotta play fucking Sea Monkey as your third best guy. Like no, that's unacceptable in my mind. So I'm this is gonna be a no for me, dog. I don't fuck with the
Sea Monkey's biggest hater, man. What did Sea Monkey do to you?
I actually like Sea Monkey. So this is a function of Sea Monkey that I like that I wish more 2-drops had. I wish that they scaled in the late game. So like Lonely Plorer, Clockwork Keeper, Sea Monkey, these are all the type of 2-drops I actually like because they all do something in the late game. They all have an impact in the late game. Like Sea Monkey, not so much. It's just slightly better. Like Sea Monkey's great though because if you go second with him, now he's just a 3 for 3. So he's like, okay, you're not underdropping. He does something like he's what I want to see more 2-drops do. Same thing with Lonely Plorer is probably a little too good. But Clockwork Keeper's a great example of like, oh, this card is a 2 might on 2, and in the late game it can draw a card. Like this is good. These are good well designed 2-drops. They're worth playing. They make the game not feel shit because I know I have to play 2-drops, but at least when I draw these in the late game, they do a little something more than what they're advertised as. So I like these cards. I think Lonely Plorer is a little too strong, like I said, but someone asked to see the.
C'est la vie.
I don't know what that means.
What? Me neither. It's provocative. It gets the people going.
Yasuo list? Oh my god. How far down do I have to go for a Yasuo?
Whatever it is worse than if you just played Aurelia with the same cards.
Yeah. And even if you want the best Yasuo, just go look up ones from NA or EU. Actually, got 71st. Maybe.
Got the number like one ofs.
This is, oh my god.
One Teemo, one sneaky deckhand, one Adaptatron.
I'll count them. That's Chosen Champ, so that doesn't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not even the worst one we've seen. I think I said 13 was the worst. We had one that had 13 or 14, something like that. So it's not even the worst. This sideboard is offensive. Oh my god, 8 different cards. This is. I mean, look. Holy fucking Rockfall Path.
Oh, and the Rockfall Path.
Oh my god, someone really wanted me to talk about
Chef's
this.
Kiss. Chef's Kiss. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Have fun, Alex. Anyways, the rest
Oh my god, someone really wanted to push my buttons. But like I said, there's nothing that can. They really wanted to throw a curveball at me, but there's nothing that can set me off. There's nothing that can tilt me more than what I've already seen. Like I'm a grizzled veteran of these China deck list reviews. 8 one-ofs in the side, 10 one-ofs in the main, Rockfall Path. It's like this guy entered this tournament just to see what I would say about his deck. Well, congratulations on your best of Yasuo, buddy. I hope 71st place was worth whatever this monstrosity of a deck list was. It almost feels like you might have lost a fantasy bet, but I don't even know what's real anymore. So 2 GAs, 1 Zanya's. I don't know why isn't the Guardian Angel just 3 at that point? Haven't you determined it's better? Like, I will say, there's not a lot I can do to argue against. Well, there is a lot, but there's not a lot I can do to argue against the idea that Chinese players on average could be better than our players. I haven't played there. I've only seen what's on stream, and maybe by happenstance, every single person they put on stream sucks, or most of the people they put on stream suck. So I don't know. However, I can objectively argue with you that this style of deck building is wrong. And I use the word objectively however the fuck I want, because that's how it works on this stream. But I can argue objectively that these deck lists are bad. You could argue that these players are better than the average NA or EU player, but there's no fucking world where you can argue these guys are better deck builders. And I will die. You can put that on my tombstone. There is no fucking way. Yes, like 1 sneaky, like 1, I guess, like 1 charm. Like, why, bro? Why? Like, some of these cards as one-ofs, like maybe Heart of Dark Ice or Mask of Foresight, make a little sense, but like, why? Why, brother? Like, but then we side extras of all the one-ofs. 1 extra sneaky in the side, like 1 Teemo, like it's his chosen champ. Like, there's nothing left to say about this deck. I mean, this is just an abomination. Hopefully I never have to see a deck list like this ever again, but this is, yeah, I mean, there's there's nothing else to say about this deck that I haven't already said before about the 30 decks of it that came before, so it's just another clone bad one-of deck. In the words of Bo-Katan, you're a clone. I've heard your voice 1,000 times. This is how I feel when I look at every China list now, so I'm not even gonna... Please don't net deck this guy who asked about Yasuo. Don't play this deck, please. Go net deck an NA list. Go net deck an EU list. Roll dice and create a list. Like have an AI make you a Yasuo list. Don't play this, please. I'll go back to the first page. Yes, like they have to handicap themselves with deck lists to bring themselves down to Western level. Yeah, that's what I'm sure that's what they're going for. So Siesta La Vie literally translates to "it is life, so that's life." You learn something new every day.
That's what I thought it meant, was it is what it is.
Just say it be like that. That's the American.
It is what it is.
It be like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, finally, in a Azir deck with some spice in it, the Under Titan. I always bitch that every Azir deck is the same. It is the same carbon copy list.
Okay, they have 1 Under Titan. Like,
dude, he's doing more than any Azir list I've seen to date. They all play the same cookie cutter list every time, and maybe that's just what the deck has to be. I get, like, this 1 salvage main, the 3, like, all the same weapons. Everything is exactly the same. I wake up, it's like Groundhog's Day with Azir's deck. But this
because the same Azir won the best of in both regions. So.
Of course. This guy woke up and said, it's up to me to break generational trauma, and he played the Under Titan. And for that, way to go, buddy. You did it. You changed 1 card, but that's all it took. You get the Alex seal of approval. He's even got Windwall in the main to really spice it up, which I fuck with too. And then unfortunately the sideboard is just this like abomination of... He doesn't even play... Every card he plays in the side, he plays in the main already. I don't think he plays a single new card in the side. Yes, it's all cards, not Charm.
Okay, does he have a one-of Charm in the main?
No, he doesn't have Charm in the main. Okay, so... Everything else, though, he plays main board. So... Yes, Steve and Joe. Joe won the Joe won the best of Rumble, and Steve won the best of, what did Steve win? Garen? No,
Leeson.
Leeson. That's right, Leeson.
Your
So
brother was the one that was going for Garen. He was second, unfortunately.
yes, yeah. So I've known those guys. Two of my closest friends. I've known those guys for nearly a decade each now. So
Yeah, of course.
Joe
The
cashed out right
goats.
away. I think he got 10 bands on the spot. Someone said 10 bands for Rumble. He said yes, please. I won.
Yeah, it
He
was like,
won four
yep.
matches. As someone put it in our Twitch chat, $2,500 for every match he won. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's like World Series of Poker type shit.
Yep.
We got an Annie that I'm guessing is a Draven cosplay. Yep, it's a Draven cosplay with some sneaky D's and cleaves. Yeah, more or less. Just a Draven cosplay. Ezreal on the side. That's interesting. Whoa. Okay, so he took a tech out of Duvall's book here, and this Rek'Sai is for one thing and one thing only. Duvall lost his win in at Vegas. He was playing Rek'Sai in his Draven deck. It's for one thing and one thing only, and it is so that when the Aurelia deck, sneaky deck, hands you on the obelisk, you accelerate the Rek'Sai over them. Just so they don't score that extra hold point and they just completely lose a card. It can also, I didn't know this, I never thought about this because a Rek'Sai player, this guy's always in my chosen champ zone.
Yep.
You can accelerate the guy that comes out of your chosen champ zone, so you can actually go Rek'Sai. And the following turn, not that you would need to because there should be nothing on their board, but like let's say they sneaky deckhanded again, you could go, because you'll be on 5, you can go Draven from chosen champ zone, accelerate him to the other side if you wanted to. So, very, very cool stuff.
It is quite cute. Yes,
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yes, so
3
it
cleave,
is.
crazy. It's just the
It
best
does.
of Annie.
Yeah, this is just the best of Annie. It's just a Draven cosplay.
Nice. Classic.
Oh my boy. Let's see what we got cooking here. So we've got Jax.
Some spice.
I've been playing a lot of Jax recently, and this deck isn't too far off of what I got going on right now. Whoa, Aurelia 5-drop. Okay, maybe that's a little... So he's playing Aurelia 5-drop over over Aphelios, which I don't know. I agree with that, but yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Aphelios is better. This is just kind of slow. You can't play this on turn 2 reliably. Is my issue with it. We've foregone the Warmog's armor for Dorn's Blade because we're not playing we're playing Obelisk instead of the Monastery. And I talked to Lothar about this a little bit. He's been playing the deck too, and he actually said he had also gotten rid of the the Monastery draw engine because too many people in his area were playing Pickpocket. So he's having this problem where they kept pickpocketing the Warmog's armor. So he actually switched to Doran's Blade and cut out the what do you call it? The Monastery. Having trouble getting Alzheimer's. So I can see where that part is reasonable. That I'm not hating on that. I think that's reasonable. This is some pothead technology. I'm not totally buying this, especially since it's
I
not
know.
consistent.
I'm sorry. What? China doesn't allow the flickering of the legend, so Aphelios is way weaker there. They didn't allow the Jax ruling.
What do you mean they don't
What does that
allow
even?
it? It's in the FAQ.
Apparently, that's what 2 people in our. That's what 3 people are saying in chat right now.
This deck
3
is
different people are saying it.
unplayable if that ruling doesn't work. Might as well be like a. This deck is completely unplayable if that ruling. Yes. I have a guide coming out for this in like 3 days, so they better not change that in NA or my whole deck is unplayable. I really hope they do not do that because this deck is I promise you cannot play this deck if that ruling doesn't work. They didn't translate the
They didn't
FAQ.
translate the fact.
I don't know if that's real or you're trolling, but man, that is...
I mean, there are too many people in our chat saying it for...
No, they didn't
guess,
they didn't translate part. That's...
Yeah, I mean... Who knows?
That
That's why
I
Jax
will tell you
is
right now, do
good.
not play this deck if that ruling doesn't work. I will like fire a rocket launcher at my guide if this doesn't. I'll still publish it, but like if that ruling doesn't work, I stand by that. I think this deck is unplayable. Colin, I don't know if you feel differently, but uh,
I
I
mean, you
think
probably
that
just have to adapt it. I think Aphelios is unplayable, but I do agree that Aphelios is a large reason to play the deck. So,
Brutalizer too. That's a big
um,
part of it. Is that the brutalizer? Like
yeah, I
when you do
guess
the brutalizer trick too.
it doesn't come up that often, to be honest with you, but I think it mostly just comes up with Aphelios and like, yeah, I don't
Brutalizer
know.
re-equipping on
I
the
would
same
have to
guy
see
comes up
it.
a lot. Like that is a significant play because you
I
oftentimes
mean,
will have a
realistically, we just gotta play through your next set of 10 games or whatever, and just see like write down how many times does the fact that you can re-equip to the same guy come up.
I think losing Aphelios for this deck is a significant nerf. Granted, this guy did get top 32, so I mean, I guess a lot of things got top 32 that
Yeah,
probably shouldn't. So, other than that, though, I think this deck. I mean, I guess without that rule, like Aphelios not working is a massive nerf to this deck. Not being able to re-trigger the Brutalizer on the same guy is a massive nerf. I guess it could still work in theory because you are like I don't know if Aurelia is the replacement I would use here, but I guess you could just like I guess you could. What was the 4-drop I wanted to try? There was another 4-drop I wanted over to try over Aphelios. So I don't think it's Aurelia. Aurelia wouldn't be my replacement here. Uh,
don't know.
Even though English is the
I can't
dominant
even.
language for rulings, they just didn't care. What's the game plan of this
No.
deck? Well, I'm glad you asked. I have a guide coming out in a few days, but rough translation, rough strategy. I know what my version is. I don't know about this version, but the strategy of my deck is turn one weapon, turn two Aphelios, put the weapon on Aphelios, re-equip the weapon, double trigger, so you get the ramp and you get the power back for the equip, and then you untap two so you can defend the Aphelios that turn. Next turn, you go play Jack's Chosen Champ, the 5-drop one, this one. Then you re-trigger Aphelios and you either leave two more up if you need to defend, or you ramp one more. And then once all your mana untaps, you're off to the races. You're holding up all your shit. You're doing everything you can. Aphelios is either ramping you, making buffs, untapping two, just doing what he does best, and just like triggering your engine and going off. When you assemble Aphelios and Jax on the board, and you have like even some sort of a hand, this deck pops. Like this deck actually is kind of legit. Like this deck does a lot. Like people underestimate how powerful it is to cast this Brutalizer, or this Guardian Angel at instant speed. Like it's crazy
Mhm.
how good that is. Like it's the Brutalizer especially. It just like when you're just like I'll Brutalizer Aphelios, put a buff on it, just +4 for 2. That's punch first for 2 mana and no power, pretty much. Like
I mean, it's
this
just a
deck.
spinning axe that sticks around, right?
Right. It's a better spinning axe, but you also trigger Aphelios if you want to. So like, there's some cool tricks where like when you're playing Warmog's armor, you can have 1 mana up, and they're like, oh, he only has 1, and you go Warmog's on Aphelios, untap 2. Now I have access to all my 2 mana spells as well. Like, there's a lot of tricks with this matchup. Um, Aurelia matchup's close. I've played it twice now, a little more than twice, 3 or 4 times, I guess now. Uh, and and when I say 2 or 3 or 4 times, I don't mean I've played 3 or 4 games. I mean 3 or 4 sessions against it. To be clear, this is not like, oh yeah, I played 3 games against Aurelia. Like I've played actual sessions against it. It's close. I think Jax is a little favored. Um, me and Colin just played one today. I did win just barely 2-0, and that'll be in the guide. I have that. That's all recorded. That's all put down in the guide. I've recorded. I had that match recorded, and it was very close. I actually win the last turn of game 2 with 0 power. With 0 power and 1 unit on board. I pay all of my power to win the game, but I do end up winning. So, is Feller Songer playable in Jax because of Aphelios? I haven't tried it yet. My biggest issue with Feller Songer is that it costs a power to play Feller Songer, and then you have to pay to equip it. I mean, you just pay the one with Jax, but it's a little expensive. So I'm gonna try it and see how it works. That's on the to do list. But as of right now, my Jax list does not play Feller Songer. It is it's a little costly. That's just how I feel about it, and I don't think the payoff is quite high enough. But like,
Hmm. I'm
Fel-
guessing the 4 drops you're considering were either Was it Sona?
It was not Sona. There was another
Maybe.
one.
What about the other Jack's chosen champion?
Yeah, that was one of them. It was the other Jack's chosen champion. That
Yeah.
guy's dies a falling star. He has the ultimate dies to fall. He's 4 and a
Yeah,
power to
he
die to
doesn't even
falling
have
star.
deflect.
Yeah, he doesn't have deflex.
Yeah.
He's like the ultimate falling star bait. I can't don't think I can play him.
Yeah, you could maybe board him, I guess, but that's
Yeah,
really
I
about
thought
it.
about
It
it.
looks like
Like,
this guy boarded it, I guess, in case you get into some sort of giga grindy matchup, but
yeah. So, but yeah, I think this is actually fine. I like the side. I play my side's. I won't say like the side. My side's different. I play Adaptatron in my side, I guess, but my side's a bit different. I actually have completely cut as of right now. I have Akshan completely cut from my list. I haven't. Maybe he'll come back in over Adaptatron. We'll see, but yeah. I'll
yeah.
have a guide out for this soon enough though in the next couple days. Honestly, my biggest fear has just been like I have been scared to pull the trigger on it and then have them drop the ban list and then I have to like go in and rework it all. But if I don't see a ban list in the next couple of days, I'm going to assume there is no ban list probably if it doesn't come out. And I'll probably just fire this off and drop it. So, yeah.
Our hard date is that I think if there's going to be a ban list, it has to be by the 3rd. They cannot do it any later than that based on previous statements that they've been saying. So
Yeah, they seem very
I would
committed.
expect it.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I personally would expect it at the latest by the 30th, just because I think they already announced that that's when like a rules update is going. So maybe they're gonna try and coincide and say that like rules update for Unleashed plus here's the ban list as well. So I think that might be the latest that we'll see it for those of us that are here from our take. But honestly, we have no idea, and unfortunately, we're just here in the waiting room to see if Dave makes good on his tweet about a potential ban list.
So someone asked three. Are you 3 charms to challenge or 3 challenges to charm? Well, let me tell you about a way you could find that out. Have you heard about the Challenger TCG Metafy? No? Okay, well, let me tell you real quick. The Challenger TCG Metafy, for just the low price of $10 a month, that's 2 hands worth of fingers, you can get full access to our Discord. And at just $20 a month, you get full access to all of our deck list. Every single deck list we have, does not matter if we have a secret tech, you have a secret tech. And I'm if you want to know 3 charms, 2 challenges, 2 charms, 3 challenges, you can find that out right in our Challenger Metafy Gold tier. And at $50 a month, you get access to all of our guides completely free while you are a Diamond member, on top of the fact that you get a free VOD review every week. Every week, we will take a VOD submitted by you, the community, and we will review it free of charge. Colin will review it, so you know you're getting the goods. You won't just listen to me ramble about how bad you are for 30 minutes. Colin will give you an actual analytical breakdown of why you're bad. So, yeah, check out the Challenger TCG Metafy, and if that wasn't good enough, each of our tiers also comes with guide discounts. 33% at Silver, 50% at our $20 tier, and like I said, everything free at our $50 tier, guys. Please check it out. I haven't got to do an ad in a while because I've been sick as shit for the last 2 weeks. So that was I'll get a better one for you guys next time, but I don't want to take too much time doing it. Yeah. So
yeah, that's good. It's how you guys support us doing all this and
Yeah.
producing all the content. So we appreciate all of y'all that choose to support us.
thank you, friends.
Do you know when you start making deck lists for set 3? Realistically, most of us are not on. I don't want to make deck lists without like a complete spoiler. So
Yeah.
I know we're getting close to having the full set released, but I believe that the full set will be spoiled on the 27th. I want to say is what they said. I don't know that 100%, so don't quote me on it. But as soon as we have the full set 3 spoiler, then we'll start working on deck lists. The other thing is that we are kind of also in the beholden to the waiting for ban list stuff, because obviously the ban list will most likely continue into set 3. I have no reason to believe that they'll unban stuff for set 3. So Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
they
it's like
yeah
tough.
they it's also hard too because we're in this weird period. So this is the last set where this awkward thing happens where one China gets the cards early, so the previews come early, but we still have tournaments we have to worry about in set two. But also there's a ban list potentially coming for set two, so we're in this like weird triangle of like set three's out, we need set three decks. Set two still has two more events, but we're waiting for a potential ban list for set two, so like the meta might not be the same. And I can tell you if there's no ban list, we're jumping right into set three. There's nothing left to do with set two. Like
Mhm.
we'll just play miracles until we're all blue in the face. Like there's nothing left. There's nothing left to do with set two, if that's the case. But now though, let's say they do have a ban list of some sort. Now we have to work on set two for the Atlanta and Lille, while also trying to test set three and get guides out for set three and stuff like that. So it's a real balancing act here.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to the best of Ezreal, and oh my God, these people are still playing the rat. They're acting like it's February of 2026. Like, guys, it's March now. It's nearly April. What the
I love
rat
the
is?
rat.
Yeah, like stop trying to make fetch happen, guys. It's not happening. The rat's dead. Like the rodent, it's over. The rodent's done. Like the uh, the Vex Ezreal is here to stay. This is not top dog anymore. This list is this is done. This is dead. But they're stuck in the past, man. This is so yesterday. I can't even bear to look at this rodent deck list. It's just this deck is dead to me. So uh, yeah, that's all I
Fortunate.
have to say about this. But I've seen enough of the rodent. He's gone. I hate the rodent. Fuck the rat.
Yeah, I think it's
Dead to me.
also kind of a weird thing with all the pickpockets running around for miracles. Like your coal just gets hit by the pickpockets. Just that kind of needs to function. So is the rodent is just it's just nonsense. It's just so
Yeah.
inconsistent too.
Yep. So yeah, any spicy decks in top eight? Now we already kind of went over them. It's just the usual suspects. We got a Sivir
I mean,
Miracles.
we have a Sivir, five Dravens, and two Aurelias. That's our
Yep.
top eight. So
Yep. So
there
there's
you go.
nothing cool to talk about.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, Timo Rat Aggro.
some
I do
spicy
agree it's a
attack.
fun deck.
And that'd be
I
good.
did actually. I have gone on record multiple times saying I like the Rodent as a deck, but I think this variant is outdated now, and I don't think there's a reason to play this. I think, like I said, this is just like a regional favorite, but I don't think there's a reason to be playing this
With how
list
popular
anymore.
Kaisa is over there too, it's like you just get cooked by Kaisa.
It's
You got no chance
crazy
in the deck.
how far I have to scroll down
Also,
to find a different deck. Like, look at how many of
yeah,
the. It's like five decks on this first page. It's Kaisa, Draven, Aurelia, and then there's like a small mix of like there's one E, there's one Jax, there's two Annies I think, two
yeah. One
Sivers, one
Ezreal.
Israel. Yeah, like
Yeah,
yep. So
there's an
this
MF
is
there that got 64th.
yep. This the one. Yep. This is what we've come to see of it. It's just the low creatures. Volibear over Dead Bloom. I prefer Dead Bloom to Volibear, but so be it.
Hmm.
I mean, this is the most comprehensive list I've seen in this whole top cut. There's one Ride the Wind and one punch. The one punch first makes sense to me. One Ride the Wind, sure. Like the rest of this deck is almost all three ofs. Everything but the Volibear and the Shoveler are three ofs in this deck. So I mean, the this guy deserves a medal of some sort. I feel bad for him because
Sure.
this guy, the first event that's
You know
not
it out
top
with
sixty
his medal
four.
leader.
Yeah, I mean the first event that's not top 64 cut or whatever. Maybe it's top 128. I forget what they cut to, but they make up the rules over there. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Hmm.
And then
So speaking of which, what any? I think we've mostly covered the
yep,
Chinese nationals at this point, right? What's our next topic of conversation?
I don't want to beat this ban list conversation to death because I feel like I've done this. I feel like I've done this 1,000 times now, and I don't think there's anything I have left to say about this ban list discussion. I think
Mhm.
we've given our predictions, but you did want to talk about one card in particular, Colin, which I'm sure we can find in this deck here, and that was the oh my god, is there? Okay, I was about to say, is there really no Stellacorn Herder? So I'm gonna
Yeah.
get a drink of water while you pop off and tell everybody why you think this should be banned. Pretty much the usual suspects for ban are pretty obvious, like Draven Legend, Called Shot. Some I've heard various Reaver's Row. I've heard some people ask about Obelisk. Um, those are like
Mhm.
the main ones I hear though are like I would say it's like Draven Legend, maybe a change to the combat rules. Uh, it's Draven Legend, Called Shot, and Reaver's Row, and then Aurora. Now Aurora especially because of what's coming next
Yeah.
set. And then some people say Bryn here is in the mix. Some people say Obelisk is in the mix. I've heard these on socials. But let's talk about the real elephant or Stellacorn in the room here, Colin. I'll let you have the floor.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that when it comes to these ban lists is that you have to attack it from like kind of the whole perspective, right? Like, yes, right now, like let's take an example of Aurora, as Alex already mentioned that. Right now, Aurora is not performing at the highest level. We saw one top 64 MF that was able to make it, right? But the deck is inherently inconsistent. But a lot of that is because it has such a bad matchup into the Miracles deck. It's just 0% to win into the Miracles deck, no matter how well it draws. And then, but you have to realize that, okay, if the only reason that this deck is bad is because there's Miracles that's keeping it down, then what happens after we ban Miracles, right? Well, then the Aurora deck becomes really, really good. So that's one of the things that we're afraid of is because you never want that Aurora deck to actually be a consistent top threat with it just being like a degenerate combo deck functionally, right? Stellacorn Herder is kind of in that same spot for me personally, where it's enabling a lot of degeneracy out of Aurelia, and a lot of the nonsense that Aurelia is able to do is entirely because of this card just being extremely egregious. The fact that you can just like use this plus a ride the wind and you're drawing 3 cards for literally no cost. The fact that this card doesn't cost a power for some reason, but every other card in the game does. That is significantly worse than this card. It's just crazy. And if you watch the finals too, the mirror match just came down to who was able to ride the Stellacorn Herder. And while the person who did it lost, it's because they tapped out. They tapped 3 for their Edge of Night and then missed their Targon's trigger. So for some reason, they just spent 5 extra energy when they had 14 cards in hand, as opposed to their opponent's like 3 or 4. It was literally the only way the guy could have lost the game. And even then, he was actually still going to win the game, and he just didn't fight or flight his guy home for some reason. So he died to the Draven uh, champ or Draven legend trigger to get the extra point. It was like one of the worst played turns I think I've seen in the history of Riftbound. That was the finals of the event. That being said, I think this card just is so unfun to play against. Just as you sit there and just watch your opponent move this thing around the battlefield, and they just draw a million cards. They have every answer under the sun without even costing them a power. I think that's really what it is. If this card costs like 1 or 2 power, I think it would be reasonable because then you would have to determine on the side of like, okay, am I going to play for having infinite cards, but it's going to cost me a bunch of power, or am I going to avoid using this card and then I'll have all the power but not necessarily cards. But this card is, I mean, my top 3 that I want to see gone personally. God, it's kind of hard to say. I want to see Called Shot, Stellacorn, and Aurora gone personally. I think Reaver's Row has to go as well. I can't stand that
This man
card.
said his top 3 and
But
doesn't list a single card that's played in Draven. That's crazy.
that's why I said me personally. I know that those aren't the top 3 that need to go for the health of the game. You need to nerf Draven in some way. I would be on the side of probably Fight or Flight if I had to guess. Reaver's Row as well, I think, is just an egregious battlefield that has to go. Obviously, you can't ban Draven Legend. You have to let people still play with it. You can ban every other card in the deck, but you can't ban a Legend. I think that's too bad of a look. So you could ban like the Chosen Champ, I guess, but Yeah. Cold Shot
So
Rasa Herder is an interesting one. But yeah, I'm Aurora's biggest hater, and especially seeing all the nonsense that'll be going on in set three. Like, yeah, I think those would be
Rasa will
way to
have
go.
to go at some point probably, especially if they're going to print cards like the Resurrection or whatever card where you can sack a guy and get a guy at the same cost. Like, yeah, Rasa will probably have to like go if they're going to do stuff like that eventually. I don't yet know it needs to go now,
Yeah.
uh, but by that logic,
Same with Ren here.
isn't Aurelia the
I
problem?
think
Why
Ren
not hit
here
that
is
directly instead of the Herder? Herder will be a problem in another deck. I promise you, it's not an Aurelia problem. Aurelia exemplifies what Herder can do when it's at its worst. But like, take this and put it in a Yasuo deck. It can do almost the same thing in a Yasuo deck. It's just Yasuo's Sig spell sucks. Like Yasuo and Aurelia are
Mhm.
like not far off from being like comparable decks. It's just Aurelia has a really good Sig spell and a better Chosen Champ, but like even Yasuo's Chosen Champ is fine. It's just his Sig spell is just not there.
Yeah.
Mm. Um,
Yeah. Aurora's, yeah, that's my exact take on it. Is even if you do have a fast start, this game is built in such a way that you can't win the game faster than turn five. It's literally impossible outside of like combo out of Lucian, I guess. There's probably some absurd like four card sequence you could come
so
up to maybe
so
win faster than turn five.
I,
But it creates these situations with cards like Aurora where if you just have it on turn three, it doesn't matter. Your opponent can draw their entire deck. It doesn't. It typically won't matter because just I have the Aurora. I get all my guys for free. You don't have enough resources to contend because it's just so egregious. And that's kind of those are the types of cards that I personally look at as clear problems in design. Where if it doesn't matter what my opponent does, I just win if I do this thing, then those cards clearly have to go, right? Aurora is one of those for me. Stellacorn Herder, just writing, like it typically doesn't matter what your opponent does within the rules of the game. I'm just going to have more resources than them, and there's nothing they're going to be able to do. Especially out of Aurelia, which is a deck that's fundamentally built on having the right interaction in the right situation. You need the right buff spells, you need the right counter spells, you need the right respawners. This card just gives you all of that for free every single time that it rides. And that's, yeah, I think that's problematic. It just removes all of the downside you would potentially have from playing a deck like Aurelia. And especially when people are talking about wanting to ban Bryn here with all the set three nonsense. Like, if you ban all these cards, we want Rebuke gone, we want Fight or Flight gone, we want Reaver's Row gone, we want to nerf Draven in some sort of way. Aurelia had a pretty good conversion ratio too, outside of Draven. Her and Draven were the only two decks that had an above 50% win rate. Hers wasn't that much further behind. So if you go into a world where you're not nerfing her in any substantial way, then I think Aurelia is going to become potentially even more oppressive than Draven, especially seeing as her worst matchup is Draven. So if we're just like, let's say we're just getting rid of Bryn here, um, we're getting rid of Reaver's Row, we're even just banning the Draven Legend and like this hypothetical. Aurelia is going to just shoot to the moon on if you don't properly handle the ban list and you're just like, oh, I'm going to ban the cards that are a problem now and not think about what the format's going to look like afterwards. You have to think about what the format's going to look like afterwards and make sure that you're not leaving any sort of super oppressive cards like Silicon Herder around, in
I
my opinion.
so two things. So the first one, I'll answer this quick question. Relics, if you ban Rebuke, don't you think Fierce Forerunner becomes a serious issue? No, not with the cards I've seen they're printing. Maybe in this format right now, but once set three comes around, Ferris Forerunner ain't even a card. I bitch about that card, but now seeing what they printed in set three, Ferris Forerunner is not even a real card. I ain't even think that's like that's like such a non-issue. Like when I was saying ban Ferris Forerunner not even a week ago, and now I'm like, fuck it, Ferris Forerunner can stay, man. He's the least of the problems right now. Like he's an example of poor card design, but like whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like that guy's that's pretty whatever at this point. That guy will be, yeah, yeah, star-crossed, the stun bounce. Like who even gives a fuck about Ferris Forerunner anymore? You're like, I'm not saying you won't see play. I'm just saying like that's not the issue I'm worried about now. When a guy is gonna come in play on my opponent's gonna go turn three on the play. Aurora summon a guy that wipes my whole board on turn three. Like, yeah, I'm Ferris Forerunner is the least of my issues right now. Like. So yeah, and then second part, I'm sure Colin mentioned this. What does this card not have that every other card, this powerful. Well, not every other card. Every card that's not a chosen champion at this cost have, and that is a power cost. Why in the fuck does this card not have a power cost when? You know where I'm going with this. If you've watched this before, you know where I'm going with this. Prize of Progress has a power cost. This card, Prize of Progress, a card that won't see play in the worst draft deck you could imaginable. Like, I'm talking your sealed pool is unfucking playable, and you will not have Prize of Progress in that deck. This is one of the single worst cards they've ever printed in this game. And this card has a power cost. And Herder does not. Think about that. Like, power, yes. This is it has the same might as Herder too. They didn't even have the graciousness to grant this guy four might. They were not they were feeling that if they gave this 4 might, that was too much. This card is so bad, I'm almost convinced that an AI conceived it, but I don't even think an AI could print a card this bad. Like, if you were rolling dice to generate this card's power cost, stats, and energy costs, like if you just wrote an effect text in a box, and you roll the dice to determine its cost, stats, and power cost, I think the dice would have done a better job than what they did with this card. This card sucks. It's just so insane to me, and it's not just like well, Alex, not all things are equal. Like, some cards are made to be better than others, but like, what was going through your head when you designed this card and gave it a power cost? Because a power cost is something you have to think about. It's not like well, we know Stellacorn Herder's effect is clearly better than Prize of Progress. It's no, we thought Prize of Progress needed a power on it. We thought this effect with this stat line, with this energy cost was so powerful, we needed a power cost on it. But Stellacorn Herder, this card is fine. This is just this is completely fine. Just no issues. Just like when I move, draw a card, because draws are far less important than that 2 might buff that you might get on your turn, your 4 might or your 3 might unit. So yes, that's like I anytime I see a 4 cost card that's broken and doesn't have a power cost, the first thing I think of is Prize of Progress. And why does this card exist? Why, why God? Like, if this card didn't have a power cost, I would never talk about him ever, because I'd just be like, it's another powerless chaff unit. But like, you have to actually take the time to think about putting the power cost on this. You didn't just you don't just put the power cost on randomly, I would have to assume. You had to take time to think and go, this is too strong without a power cost, and put a power cost on this. So, yes, that is the end of my rant on that. Prize of Progress is terrible. Don't ever play this.
Yeah, I do agree that anyone who doesn't want Stellacorn banned is just like an early simp. Like, it's just crazy what this card does. And there's still, I don't think it's going to kill the deck. The deck is still way over converting. There are things that you can do, and the format will be much slower. Obviously, we're nerfing Draven too, so it's going to all even out in the world. In this world, we can start playing like Spirit Wheel. There's like some actual legitimate cool cards that we can do that are a little bit more balanced than just like me putting this Stellacorn outer. I just play this on turn 2 or turn 1 with Obelisk, and I just win. The game's just over on turn 1. Like, there's nothing you can do. It's just crazy.
Yeah. So, I fucking love the rant to it, blah, 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 blah. This guy whines like a 5-year-old. I'd at least give it a solid 8, but I appreciate it. A 5-year-old is not nearly as articulate as I am. I would give me at least an 8-year-old. I wish I could be a stand-up comedian. Unfortunately, I'm not that funny. People have described me as being funny, not being funny when trying to be funny, and being funny when not trying to be fun. Like, just the like, it's the opposite. Aurelia is protected, the queen, and Stellacorn is the queen. Kind of, yeah. I think the most problematic thing you can think of when you think of Stellacorn, I think Colin already said this, is Stellacorn, next turn, ride the wind, move to one side, use pump to run over guy on that side, ride the wind to the other side, pull back. And if that side is Dreaming Tree, just so you know, it's move in, draw a card. Play buff, draw a card from Dreaming Tree. Ride the wind, move over, draw a card. Retreat back to base, draw a card. 4 cards you just drew for the price of 2 cards. Plus you killed one of their guys. So that's 4 cards, 5 cards, 5 cards, sorry. 5-year-old could probably count with his fingers better than I could. 5 cards for just 2. That's a +3. That's real math, too. 5-year-old couldn't do that math. So yeah, that's like that exemplifies what I think of when I think of like the biggest problem with Stellacorn Herder is like the move, ride the wind, move back, and then like for the hell of it, if you wanted to, you could like equip something to it and just keep dancing around. Like if you want to keep paying power with Aurelia, you could just keep dancing around if you really wanted to. Like you could go instead of ride the wind, you could go like equip boots, untap it, gank, ride the wind back to base, move it up again, move it over, like just like yeah. That's how it be. So
Yeah. I do see the Stellacorn, like, obviously, as a spoiler, sorry, I'm going to leak this one, but Stellacorn's in Alex's Jack's deck, you know? You guys can have that one for free. And obviously, it's in most of these lists. So obviously, it sucks that, like, these decks that are a little bit more interesting aren't able to use this card too. But it's just the nature of a card that's this broken, right? Like, those decks will have to adapt, you know? They'll maybe have to go to the jacks that draws on the equip or something like that, and that's just the nature of these things. Whenever a ban list goes like this, everything gets hit. So
yeah, and I like I don't hate a first a huge first like ban list like ban lists typically from like you will see a lot of negative opinions online, but like when you really get in the logic of it, of the guy who's like, I'm gonna quit if they have a ban list. Why though? Explain to me why. Like okay, your favorite deck got hit. Well, your favorite deck was Miracles, bud. Like, sorry, you wanted to play the tier 0 deck. Like, you're calling us bad for not
yeah,
adapting, but like, just adapt to your fucking broken deck being banned. So like, okay, you move beyond that issue. Like, my best deck didn't get banned. Okay, I'm out money. Okay, sure. Like, that's a legitimate reason to be mad. Like, you're like, let's say they ban Cold Shot. Your seals are worthless. Like, okay, you're mad about that. That's the nature of card games. You want to quit because of that, fine, whatever. Like, you'll go to some other card game, they'll do the same thing, you'll be out money again, and this cycle will repeat itself for all eternity until you are dead or the sun ceases to burn. So, part 3 of that is, okay, none of those things happen. Well, now you're just being salty for the sake of being salty. I don't like bans. Well, your deck didn't get hit and you didn't lose money, so why? I don't like them. Okay, well, go to any other game that doesn't have bans. They don't exist. They all ban. Like, that's how it is. Like, oh, it's only set 2 and they're banning things. It's like, yeah, like, you want the game to be better or worse? Like, and I do, this comment got a lot of hate on social media. It was a comment George made. Let me see if I'll pull it up here, but it was a comment that he made. And I've said this exact quote. He might have even, I'll even credit myself because he might have actually pulled it from me myself. But
well, you
I
pulled
want,
that up. Thank you, Min Wins, for the gifted sub to one Coco Lopez. That's
yes.
quite nice of you. I also gave you mod. Don't abuse it.
Yeah. Coco, by the way, I beat Colin with Wallop today too. So the Wallop
I
victims
did get
are,
wall upped.
yeah. The Wallop
The
victims are stacking up.
yeah, they're stacking up for sure.
Let me find
You
this.
better sub icons in here. Yeah, that's something we should probably commission too. That's a good point. We'll get some emotes made and some good sub badges and stuff like that.
Oh, did
We
he
will.
definitely, our boy definitely deleted this.
I'll get on that.
I definitely feel like he might have deleted his. Okay, here it is. Let me How does this work? Wait. I have to do the undo the full screen thing. No, wait, I don't know how this works. Okay. Nope, I have to on F11. Sorry, I still have a very limited understanding of how computers work, guys. Nope, now I've F11'd on this side. Nope. Ah, damn it. One sec. I apologize, guys. I truly do not know how computers work.
Yeah.
So
He really is this incompetent, guys. It's not an act.
Yes, I wish I could say I was trolling right now. Unfortunately, I'm not. Now, I will preface this with George is my boy. George has the probably the least charisma of any human being when explaining things on social media. He does come across as a whiner, and he is admittedly a whiner. Still my boy. However, this sentiment I agree with. And again, I am not a negativity guy. I'm a positivity guy. I only want the issues addressed from a point of positivity, so the game can grow. And I'm not as hard on the game as George is, but I absolutely 100 agree with the statement. I've made this on here, this statement before. The absolute worst thing you can do is undershoot. Just overdo it. People will stop crying about you overdoing it when they have a fresh meta. Feelings towards the game can improve. That part is like whatever. But this is true. You can never, if the meta is good, you can never gauge if it could have been better if you underdid it, right? Like if let's say you ban 10 cards and the meta's crazy good and the meta's great and everything's awesome, nobody's going to go, well, you could have banned 9 cards and maybe got the same result. Yeah, maybe, but we'll never know when the meta's fucking good. But when you undershoot it, they fucking know. And now they're extra mad because you've pissed off the people that didn't want bans because they're like, you just banned things and now the meta's worse. And you pissed off the people that didn't want bans because they're like, you didn't change anything, you just made the game worse. So undershooting it is the absolute worst thing you can do if you're gonna make a ban. Like if you're gonna pull the trigger on these bans, just fucking go all in. Like really figure out what you want to ban and figure out what the meta is going to look like after so that you don't miss something. Because the worst thing you can do is you ban one thing and then you ban Draven and Miracles and Aurelia is now the best deck dominating by a country mile. So it's a two-part problem. You don't want to overshoot it, or you don't want to undershoot it, but you also want to make sure that you know exactly what it's going, or you have some idea of what it's going to look like when you make these bans. You need to test. You can't just make a ban list and say, this looks good, let's hope it's all right. And this is what small indie companies do. They just ban the problem things and say, well, hopefully the meta is all right afterwards. You actually need to test what comes next.
Yeah.
I think if I had to choose between them banning something and just getting a new shit meta or just leaving it the way it is, I'd rather they just left it the way it is, because people are actually going to be more bad. If you ban something and you fuck up and you miss the mark, people are going to be more pissed off then. They're just going to be like, look, bans don't work. The ban people will be like, you didn't ban enough, and nobody will be happy. I promise you that. Everybody will be unhappy if you undershoot it. So please, 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 for the love of God, do not undershoot. If this means you have to ban 10 fucking cards, I don't care. Do it. Just do not miss the mark with your first ban list. It is the absolute worst thing you can do. So that part,
Yeah.
this part I completely agree about. I don't know if I agree with the people will stop crying about you overdoing it when they play a fresh meta, because if the meta sucks, people will still cry either way. But I do agree with the sentiment that do not undershoot. Do not ever undershoot. George is 100% spot on with this. This post got a lot of hate, and reasonably so. George does complain about the game a lot, but I think George, between George's whining, crying, and lack of charismatically explaining things, George is usually right. Someone said, someone asked, Zdrawl asked, thank you for the donation, Zdrawl. If they don't ban, does the meta move at all? Feels like they need to do something drastic, like kill Fight or Flight, please. Yeah, I wish they banned Fight or Flight. I mean, I don't think, Colin, I mean, you can, I just did my rant. You can go off on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it really just does come down to that, right? Is that like we need them to actually ban things properly and go kind of too hard. Like, I think the Yu-Gi-Oh ban list is the one that I kind of compared this one to, and obviously that was back in like what 2004. But
Yep,
their first ban list had a ton of cards on it.
10
Had
cards, I
like
believe.
had
Maybe
10
more,
cards.
actually. No,
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
more. It was,
Maybe it was even more.
I forgot how many they actually banned, but it was a big list because they had a bunch of things that were restricted upon the game's release to one, like Pot of Greed. Um, and then they had a bunch of cards that they later banned, like IOC, not IOC, Envoy the End, Yatagrasu, etc., etc. So,
Yeah, exactly. And like that's realistically what we need in order to make things right. Is just like go hard on it. Just let's just make sure that it's done and over with, and it'll be okay. Like people people will still find success with these decks, especially because a lot of the cards that we're talking about banning, with the one exception of Aurora, are all pretty cheap cards. And the bans that we want, these decks will still be playable, right? Aurelia will still be fine even without Herder. Like it'll be fine. Draven will still be fine if we ban Fight or Flight or Rebuke. Like that deck will still be fine. We just need some tuning for some of these cards that are just too ubiquitous and a part of every single deck that or they're in the color is like three ofs, and they just make it so oppressive when you're playing into every purple deck. Why purple is 80% of the meta is because it has access to these rebukes, these fight or flights, stack decks like called shot. Obviously, like all these cards are just way too universally abusable. So what's the worst thing that will happen if you overdo the bans? Like there are a bunch of fair mid-range decks and playing the game. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think with the way they designed the game, they unfortunately went a little bit too quick on the power creep. I think we didn't really get to be in the honeymoon phase with a new game where there's just like a bunch of us just playing like two cost two might vanillas and four cost four might vanillas, and we have like if you remember the Hearthstone days early where Chillwind Yeti was like the best card in the game just because it was like a slightly overstated vanilla and everything was so fair. We've been so far discontinued from that it's we
remember
just need
when
to take a few of these cards and tune them, you know.
remember when people were mad about turn one coin innervate Yeti? Like that was the goat play. Like that was like the literal best thing you could do in Hearthstone. Like, and
Yeah, exactly.
that was like the crazy goat play. Uh, and if you want to see, hold on, I'm gonna pull this up real quick. Let me pull this up. I'm gonna getting a way to do this without opening my thing here.
Okay.
Okay, so putting this on the screen and embarrassing myself. Okay, here we go. Yep, so here we go. Open image in new tab. Does this work? Okay, here we go. This is the first ever Yu-Gi-Oh ban list for those of you that want to see it. This is a little off topic, but just we were talking about it. I don't want to go too off topic here, but this is what the first Yu-Gi-Oh ban list looks like. So this is this is forbidden, this is 10, 11, 13 cards. Someone said 13 in the chat.
Yeah.
Someone said turn my mic up. Is my mic that low? I have to turn it down normally because I'm screaming into it most of the time. So,
Yeah.
damn, is my mic really that? Yeah, I was gonna say I thought I was loud. So, anyways, yeah. So that's what the first list looked like. And granted, the game had been out for 2 years. This was 10 sets in IOC, right after IOC, which was set 10, I believe. So this was 10 sets worth of bans. So like, I think Yu-Gi-Oh sets were a little bit smaller. Also, the cards were a lot more polarizing. Like in the first 10 sets of Yu-Gi-Oh, like 95% of the sets were unplayable. Like I mean, like any vanilla monster. By set 10, pretty much every vanilla monster that wasn't like Mad Dog of Darkness or Gemini Elf was unplayable. So, like, yeah, they're like 95% of the sets were unplayable. So, this is just in
Yeah.
case anybody wants to know like how big of a ban list they had right at the beginning. This is not a fair comparison. I'm not going to use this either because this game came out in 2002. The understanding of design of card games was very different back then. So I'm not going to. I don't want to use that as a reference too much, but just because we were talking about it, I brought it up.
For
Yeah,
sure.
we
I
still have a
mean,
lot of the set left. Kenneth Mark brings up that we still have half the set left to see, so that could change things. I don't think anything will change how powerful Aurora and Purple are, but yes, there is still more to see. Go ahead, Colin. Sorry, cut you
yes.
off.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to at the end of the day that like for all the people that are ban deniers and think that cards shouldn't be banned, what you really have to do is you have to look at the general sentiment of people and like the play rate. Obviously, these big events are still getting these crazy attendances, but that's because there's so much value at these big events. If we were in the Yu-Gi-Oh world where we're all playing for play mats and functionally nothing for top eight, nobody would. The amount of people who'd want to go to these events is significantly smaller, right? But because this game is well designed with how its pricing is structured, people will still want to play the big events. What really matters is the events at the local level end up getting smaller because of the exact sentiment. Nobody wants to play against Draven. Nobody wants to play against Aurelia. These decks are just unfun to play against. And that's realistically where like the banning needs to hit is that like not even more so than power level at the highest level. People are going to play in these big events anyways. These events are just going to cap out. But if at my local shop nobody wants to play Riftbound because they're tired of a Stella Corn Herder on turn one just drawing their opponent infinite cards while they're trying to play their for fun Aria deck because they thought Aria was cute or something like that. That's a problem, and that's why we need to have some bans in order to even out the power level a little bit more because the gap between these top two and top three decks is so big of a chasm that it's ridiculous. You know, Draven and Aurelia eating up being the only two decks with a positive win rate, Kaisa at 50%, and then everything else below that at negative win percentages is just ridiculous. Like you can't allow that to happen when the negative play experience is so poor. If people were still having fun losing into Draven, and it just so happens that Draven's the best deck, then maybe that'd be the case. Or if people are having fun into Aurelia, then that'd be the case. But when you have cards like Stella Corn Herder, their opponent just has a Bible in their hand. They're starting a new religious text just based off of what resources Stella Corn Herder has decided to mine them up because they draw an extra 3 cards a turn for 4 energy, and also it's a body that scores them points. Like these things just can't exist. These things can't happen.
Right, and I think too. Oh, sorry, you finishing your thoughts still. My bad.
No, that's mostly it. So that's why our point is just be on the overban side. Just get rid of all of these cards that are very oppressive and problematic. Get rid of Bryn here too. Like that's a card that nobody has fun playing into. The look on my opponent's face every time I play a Bryn here is just like, yes, there is nothing you can do.
I
That's
I,
terrible.
I
So
think too, something I like to see from our chat, and I want to be very clear about this is there's a couple people in here saying I prefer they ban nothing. They should ban nothing. You guys are just whining. Well, skeet bud on that third guy, but I like that there are people in here that disagree with us because I don't want this chat to kind of become an echo chamber. Obviously, we think we're right, and we the people who agree with us, we also think you're right. But I appreciate the people in chat who are like, I think you're wrong, because I don't want this. I don't want this chat to become like an echo chamber. I like people that have different ideas, but I want people to when you tell me we don't think you need bans, I like or you don't want bans more importantly. I want you to explain to me why. Why don't you want bans? And I don't if I swear to God to me, if you say people just need to get good, I will fucking boot you from this chat instantly. Not because I don't want to argue with you, but because this is just the stupidest. Like you're beyond reasoning. Get the fuck out of my chat. No, I won't actually boot you from the chat, but I will ignore you, and we'll probably have a laugh about you once we turn the stream off. But yes, I like I like. It's not that I like to argue, but I like to see. I like to see level of dissent of conversation in our chat. I don't want this chat to be 160 people and they're all like the NPC meme where they're all like yes Challenger TCG. So I like that we have some actual people who we have a healthy discussion going on in here most of the time. Let's see what else we got. bans are fine. People dislike the president of if we complain enough, we'll get what we want, but it's a bad take in my opinion. I mean, you're selling a product, right? Like if the majority of your players are complaining about your product, you have to make a change, right? It's how it works with any sort of product, right? Like if if Windows Vista has all these issues, Windows Vista sucked, by the way, and I know that without knowing anything about technology. Windows Vista was ass. But if a bunch of people are complaining about Windows Vista, you don't go, yeah, get good, just learn how to use it, Grandpa. Like, no, they fix those things because people don't like it. I don't know why that was my example, but it was the first one that popped in my head. So
It's good enough. I mean, yeah, if people aren't enjoying the experience, I think that's really where things need to go. And especially like there's a certain amount of time you can write it out. But there are a lot of people who weren't super excited to play into Kaisa in set one, and they just let that one write out too. I mean, God, if I could just go nuclear on the ban list, I'd ban Falling Star 2, ban Singularity. Those cards suck to play against. They're absolutely miserable.
so
Like,
I mean, set one is a really hard set to make bans, and that is like one where I'm like, all right, if you have to make set bans in set one, just start over, dog. You already
yeah.
you've already exploded. Like set two, fine. Like I think there are like and I'm not saying I'm like you should never ban in set one, but like if you have to make bans in set one, something went real fucking wrong. Like really fucking wrong. But I think set one was fine. I think that format developed in a meaningful way, but I do not see this format. Like this format's been around not quite as long as set one, but it's been around what 3 months now since January. I think we had all the cards end of December. It's been around almost 4 months now. Let's see, January, February, March, 3 months. Yeah, 3 months now, and doesn't look like it's
Yeah.
changing much. It's been kind of the same. It's been Draven midrange, Aurelia, and now Miracles is just even better than it was before. And it's not a fun deck to play, so
I think a lot of people are just coming at this from a misunderstanding where they're like, if we're if cards are getting banned now based on what the designers chose, then it's going to continually cycle around in future. We're just going to have to ban like 10 cards from every set, which just isn't the case. I think that early on with the design of this game is a lot different to where they are now, where we've seen them like hiring Magic pros in order to help with the game, just based on success. As weird as it is to say, I don't think Riot really expected the success that this game had at the competitive level, and the amount of people that clearly want this game. So the early on they didn't devote enough resources to it, and we just have to correct for those early mistakes. And as time goes on, as they learn their lessons, and this is Riot's first time dealing with a card game, like we will get things ironed out to be a little bit more in line with what we would expect of not needing to ban some of these egregious cards that they printed. But it's going to take them some time in order to iron things out. And in the meantime, they got to do what's right by the player base to get people back into it. Because I can tell you, as somebody who owned a game store for 6 years, and as much as people will whine and say that they hate ban lists and they're so sad that their deck got banned, there is nothing that makes a tournament pop off more, especially at a local level, than a fresh format with a new ban list. Ban lists always get players hyped back up to playing the game because they're in a new format. They don't have to play against the oppressive nonsense that they've been dealing with that make them not want to play the game in the first place. So,
right. And I think too. I think that one thing I will say. So someone said, "Why not ban Singularity and Falling Star? Where does it stop?" Well, I don't think anybody's calling for a Singularity ban, or most people are not. Yeah, well, okay, maybe a very unvocal minority of players are, or vocal minority. I don't know. I'm sure George has complained about Singularity at some point. I've complained about Falling Star more times than I care to bitch about. But like now that we have in combination with Not So Fast and the pseudo nerf to Falling Star, as much as I still hate Falling Star, and I promise you, I won't shed a tear if I saw Falling Star banned. I'm not calling for that card to be banned anymore. I think it has an ample amount of counterplay, unlike in set one. I think the nerf to it is a huge difference. It doesn't break the respawners anymore. It can be countered by Not So Fast in its full. Singularity too. Singularity is a card.
you know what? Let me change my mind on both these cards.
Okay.
The thing that I actually want banned over both of them is Stupefy. Oh my god, that card is so dumb. That's the issue that I think it is it's like they balance Falling Star around these 4 cost 4 mites, and then they just like print Stupefy where they just have this 2 card combo where you lose the game on turn 2. But that's my issue with Singularity and Falling Star again. Is for me more so than balance levels. It comes down to the oppressive play pattern, where I never want to be in a situation where I'm going first on Kaisa. I do my traditional curve of 2 drop into Kaisa into Singularity, and my opponent's just going. They're doing the same thing. They're going 2 drop into unit. I get to start the game at 4 points while already being on the play, while already so far ahead, just because I had the Singularity in my opener, or I had the Stupefy plus Falling Star in my opener. And there's nothing your opponent can do. They just lose. Like, unless they're on like some very hyper niche specific deck that doesn't lose their guy to a Singularity on turn 3 on the play. And yeah, those are the oppressive play patterns that I'm trying to curve with any sort of ban list. But I think Stupefy is definitely the biggest problem of that. Is it like creates these situations where the Falling Star does kill both your 4 cost 4 might and your 2 drop, which is obviously way too good. So,
Someone said scrap heap
so
is bannable. That's a hot take if I've ever heard one.
yeah,
What about the players in China tournaments? Can we say they just need to get good? I saw a lot of bad games and I suck too. I mean, we could just say that. I'm confused why that. Like they, I don't know what that has to do with this. If you had to use the deck for the
yeah,
remaining of the meta, what would it be? Miracles. If I'm just like my objective is to win, it's just play miracles. Doesn't matter. Detonate,
yes,
classic, doesn't matter.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we watch some Miracle players over in China, and the reason it's not performing is nobody over there knows how to play Miracles. So it's that deck is broken. I promise. At the very least, like you can trust my opinion at least based on my results. As much as I hate to be that guy, like I promise I know what I've been talking about. I've played card games for 20 years. I know what players. I owned a shop for 6 years. I know what people complain about when it comes to these card games. I know what drives attendance.
Uh,
I've been on every side of it.
Imagine if Aurelia could play the camel guys. Yeah, the fake cards are better than the real ones. Uh, every future,
Yeah.
every future discard in the game has to be balanced around. But if it discards scrap heap, it's not a downside. I mean, I guess like it wouldn't be a crazy one for me. It's just not one that I'm like. It's not in my like purview right now. It's just not one that I'm like thinking about personally.
Correct. Ram for 5 energy is not optimal. I think seals are bannable. No, I think
No.
seals are kind of like how they designed the game in some sort of way. But again, the thing that I'm trying to curve with all of these sorts of things is the unfun play patterns. And seals, like while they are good, and these are the types of cards that can create these patterns at the highest competitive level, where like I saw my seal in the miracle matchup and my opponent didn't, so I'm just infinitely far behind. Those matter less to me because I at the local level those sorts of situations like players won't identify that as the reason why they lost or the reason why they aren't having fun. The thing that I'm worried about is like our local tournament attendance because this I'm here to stay no matter what the format is. You don't need to appeal to me as a competitive player because I'm going to play this game regardless. If we're just in Miracle format, nothing gets banned, then great. I'm just playing Miracle. If you ban 100 cards, then great. I'll figure out what the best deck is. What matters is the people that aren't having fun at a local level because they get Singularity out of the game or Stooping Falling Star out of the game or Called Shot out of the game or Stellacorn is just drawing a million cards. Called Shot's drawing a million cards. They'll just have to sit there and watch their opponents doing it. Those are the cards that are just doing too much for too little that make it very unfun for your opponent to just sit across the table from you. And that's what I'm more worried about when it comes to ban list, is what the general populace is struggling into and what is causing player retention and play rate to go down.
Right, and it's definitely like Colin said, like for us, like you're talking calling us the whiners, but at the end of the day, we're gonna play anyways. Like we're gonna get results no matter what you're putting up on the board. Like doesn't really matter. Like
Yeah.
it's but we also understand that like our business is also tied to this game. So like we want them to make decisions that we think will assist in the longevity of the game because if this game explodes in a year, we're kind of shit out of luck too. So like we're not just incentivized. We're not like saying this because it's like, oh, we just want to win, so we want you to keep banning cards until we get a deck that we like and we think we can win with. It's we want the game to be healthy. That's the first, and like we have a much
Yeah.
higher incentive for this game to survive than just trying to win at spike events. And so yeah, I think that is
Yeah.
kind of something important to keep in mind.
Yeah. Exactly. Like if I just wanted competitive success, I think I'm one of, if not the best miracle player out there, just because of my years of playing Fab and like already understanding the concept of stacking my deck. And certainly, given a couple of weeks, I could become the best miracle player of all time. So if we just want no bans, then like I know that competitively, I'll do very well in that format. That's not what I want. I want this game to succeed. I want for people to be able to go to their local Nexus nights and have a good time, because those are the people that really support the game and make the game what it is. A game that just can, specifically is trying to cater to me is not one that's going to work out in the long run. So I just want people to have fun playing their card games. And I know with a lot of the cards that exist right now, that's currently not the case. And that's sad to see and hear. And, being a figurehead of the community, this is just what I hear and what I want to echo out to people.
Any legends that you like in the new set, like Ivern, I know it's bad, and LeBlanc. The people that don't want bans,
Yeah,
suffering are fine to slop.
I mean, I think we've covered the ban list stuff at this point, so we can talk more about the for fun stuff. So I think this is a good thing to move into, Zedril. I know that we're gonna be working on like guides for set 3 and stuff for all these sorts of legends, and there are a lot of ones that look very, very fun. So I know LeBlanc is going to be the first deck that I personally am working on. So there's a spoiler for all of y'all that are LeBlanc fans out there. That is one that I'll be giving personal attention to because I think she looks like a lot of fun. I know that Anton has said that he's very interested in Ivern. So you can have someone that will be your voice on that one. And yeah, we're looking at pretty much every legend going forward, especially with how our team has moved on. But I know those are a couple of the ones that we're looking at. What's your favorite legend, do you think, of set 3 that you're going to focus on, Alex?
So I like the idea of Diana. I really liked Rengar. When they showed that card today, what's it called? The card that it's accelerate and it says your conquer score twice. So the first thing that came to my mind, I was like, holy shit,
Yeah.
This is what Lucian always wanted to be. So you just like, here's my dream scenario. You're on the winning in for top 8. Turn 1, I play a creature. I don't give a fuck what it is. Pouty Poro. I attack. I conquer. I hold. I retreat. Turn 2, Triforce. Turn 3, Triforce Spear. Turn 4, my opponent has no idea what's going on. He's just like, holy shit, that's a conquer for 3 thing. Okay, whatever. And he has no idea what's going on because even though he's 10-1, he just huffed a humongous amount of whippets in the bathroom. On top of being having his favorite bottle of Elmer's glue like right next to him that he just cannot stop chugging. So he taps out, and I go, play accelerate the guy whose name I don't know, that says your conquer effects trigger twice, and I get to go attack into one side, break it, signature spell to the other side, win the game instantly. Just all you can do it from. I can do that from 0 if I have both the Triforces. That's a 0 to 8 combo. I can do nothing turn 1. I could just pass turn 1 if I go Triforce, Spear, accelerate this guy, attack, sig spell to the other side, 8 points dead. So yes, that's I want to play. Yes, Brambleback. Thank you. Yes, I knew everybody would rush to correct me on that. But even further, there's a lot of cool tricks you can do with this deck. Paste and Whippet snorting aside, you can still like go bring here, strap it up with Triforce Spear, and just go signature spell score 4. They can't stop you. It's gonna happen. It just one of the sides you will be able to get. I guess you can't put the weapons on him, so you'd have to put it on another guy. But who cares? Like it doesn't matter. You put the weapons on another guy. you just attack instead. You can blink the Bryn here on their turn, do whatever. It doesn't matter. But yes, I'm really looking forward to Rengar to see what he can do. I'm also being told this. Colin, have we confirmed if this is real or not? But I am being told that if this is true, this card's fucking broken. The Rengar 5-drop Chosen Champ can be played on your opponent's turn on an occupied battlefield like Dead Bloom. Can you confirm or deny these?
That's what I've been told, and when I was searching in the official Discord, is that it can be used to surprise defense. It doesn't make sense to me with how the things are worded right now between ambush and being able to play. It just says ambush is like a separate line from you can play this to an opponent's occupied battlefield or something like that. But I did read that people were saying in the official Discord that the 5-drop Rengar can be played as a surprise defense, which is kind of crazy. That's the case. So as far as I know, that's the case.
Yes. So
yeah,
it cannot. So yes, Rengar can be played anytime, anywhere. Someone is saying it cannot. I agree with the it cannot, because if you read the rules, nothing about how its ability reads and how ambush reads, they don't connect. Like, there's no part where they connect to me and say, okay, I can play this to my opponent's empty battlefield. But apparently everybody's telling me I'm wrong. Yes, it can. It can.
The way the card reads, it should not be able to. But apparently there's going to be some text update or something that it will be able to do that. It shouldn't work that way based on the way the card reads. So if people are just reading the card, then I 100% agree with you. It should not work this way. However, there have been apparently mods on Discord or official writers that have commented stating that it does in fact work this way.
Wait,
and there will be some rules updated.
Yeah, I see one in cannot. Mike Trout, the Angels are playing right now. You should be out there, dude. What the fuck are you doing in our fucking chat right now? You're playing the Dodgers, dude. Get your head in the game. Like, what the fuck are you doing in our chat right now? Jesus. It's a little bit of sports humor for you guys out there.
Yeah.
Nobody gets it, but anyway, so wait for full ambush, full explanation. Yeah, I mean, if it worked like reaction, like just like Shen does, like where Shen is a reaction that can be played, then it would make sense to me. But if the requirement on ambush is that it says it has to be played to an occupied battlefield, so that would lead me to believe that Rengar does not work this way. So, yes. Yes. God, I can't imagine having the name Mike Trout, and that must be... People must see your shit all the time, like airport security. If you look anything like him, that you must go through airport security, and they're like, holy shit, it's Mike Trout. So, yes. So with ambush, you can't play the unit to base rate, so why could you play to a battlefield without one of your units? That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't understand why this ruling works this way. Yes. I think that's what where we're at, too.
Straight up could not tell you why it works this way. This is just what we have been told based on, like, the rioters and the official Discord. So, or official, unofficial Discord, whatever it is. Riot doesn't want to put their name on it because then they have to pay people to moderate it, but it's functionally the official Discord.
Yeah, so I think the legend that reads the best right now is LeBlanc. I don't know if it's the one that'll be the best, but it's the one that certainly reads the best.
Yeah. That was the one that initially I was like, okay, this card's crazy. Obviously, her color combination is lacking a couple of things in that she is neither green nor purple, which I think are going to be the two best colors in this set. And speaking of which, that's another leader I will be working on is Vex. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Set from Set 1. So it just is like a non-traditional hold deck. So I think I'll have a lot of fun with Vex too. So those are two of my decks that I'll certainly be working on for anyone that's a fan of Vex. I think I saw somebody in chat mentioning that they're excited for her, so.
Yeah, I do think that Rengar is insane, especially it is 6 might too. So like you're just instant speed dead blooming your opponent.
It's actually 7 might with Rengar because his legend abilities.
Oh, that's true. You're literally playing dead bloom for 5 mana on their turn. That's incredible. Oh my god. In Yi too, because he's orange. In Yi, you could play him, and
Yeah.
he actually is Dead Bloom. He's literally Dead Bloom. You're just like,
Yeah,
here
just
comes Dead
5 mana
Bloom.
Dead Bloom.
Yes, just 5 mana Dead Bloom. Here we go. Instant speed Dead Bloom, die. Like, no deflect, but who gives a fuck at that point? Like, he doesn't need deflect. Like, yes, if it works like that, Rengar is going to be fucking crazy. You're telling me I can just like pass with 7 mana up, they go attack a battlefield, I'm like, Rengar in, block your battlefield, they're like, alright, I'll go to the other side. Rengar spell, go to the other side, jump over to the other side for 7-2. Like, God, this shit's
Yeah, you
gonna
score
be
2 points while doing that as well.
just like because you score on defense either way. So like if they go to an uncontested battlefield and you come in, the way the rules work is even though you're on defense, you will still score. Because a combat occurred. I think that's how it works, right? Yeah, right? Because if you ride the win in, if they come in and you ride
the same
the win
thing
over,
as riding the win in.
Yeah,
the surprise defense thing.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe that's a rules update that will come. We are expecting a rules update change here on the 30th. They haven't really announced what it is, just that it's stuff that will work for Unleashed. So the exact ruling that people are probably stating here, where the ambush line of text is actually supposed to be 2 lines of text, which it being you can play it on attack, and this card just always has reaction. You can play it at any time. So it's supposed to be like a double, 2 separate lines of text, which is why the Rengar works the way that it does.
Okay, right. So, and here's another thing too. Does anybody know? Is there some sort of draw engine in Red Orange? Because I think that's the only thing that maybe this deck is missing is some way to like draw cards.
The beans.
The what?
The beans.
The beans.
The beans.
Like
you don't know about the beans?
Like planting beans from like magic, like the magic beans.
They're the beans. They're the beans, Alex.
Fresh beans. Oh, fresh beans. What does fresh beans even say? It's like I don't even remember.
Whenever you play, I think it's when you play a unit. I don't know the exact restriction. I think it's when you play a unit in combat. Maybe you draw a card. I want to say that's it.
That doesn't sound very good to me.
I'd say that you still have Kaisa, obviously. That card's still legal.
When you kept saying the beans, I was thinking of the beans card they banned in Magic. I can't remember what it was called, but
what, Up the Beanstalk?
Up the Beanstalk, that's the one. That was a draw engine too, right? So you had
yes,
me
it
fooled.
was. It also costed 2.
Yes.
And it was an enchantment instead of a gear, but yeah.
That's the same shit.
I'm trying to.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yes, I'm trying to find what the beans do. Fresh, is it really called fresh bean?
It's called fresh beans.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
When you play a unit during showdown, you may exhaust this to draw a card. So you're telling me I'm gonna go rank. Yeah. I'm gonna have 2 fresh beans on the board. I'm gonna Dead Bloom at instant speed, kill their guy, draw 2 cards, and then 6 spell to the other side. And I guess I don't get to draw 2 more cards. That would be crazy. If I could do this multiple times a turn, then it'd be crazy. Like we're just like draw 2. 6 spell, other side, fresh beans, draw 2. Oh, I have a new hand.
Yes. Nidalee is insane with charm. Yeah, Nidalee's cool. She unfortunately costs a power, so that part sucks. But yeah, you play her in Yi. Yeah, put the beans on the screen.
The freshest.
Put the beans in the bag.
Put the beans in the bag and no one gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
An actual once per turn on a draw card. Yeah, I know. Crazy, right?
Yeah. I
don't know that I would. Is there another draw engine we can get in this color? Like fresh beans is like kind of whatever. I don't think this is.
I mean, that's the only issue with these color combinations that are like red, orange, and yellow. Right? Is they don't really have much in terms of draw. That's, I guess, whether it's intended or not, their downside. You got detonate in red if there's some sort of thing you can be detonating, but I don't believe that's the case right now. Outside of that, I think we're just kind of relying on our beans. So,
which one is this Trophy Hunter? It's so perfect for me. I got the Trophy Husband T-shirt. He's so Rengar Trophy Husband. This guy, yeah. I mean, so you ambush. This has got to be the chosen champ of choice too, because this is just literally always in your chosen champ zone. You're just like, it just sits there, and you're just like, try me. Like, come on, let's go. Like just like any turn I leave 5 mana, I pass with 5 mana up. You're just like, oh, Can't attack that fucking dead bloom. Like, what are the other?
Yeah.
The other one's just like keyword soup, right? No, not this
Yeah,
one.
it's just keyword soup. I think it also costs a power though, so that's the only thing. Dune Breaker is your red draw engine. Yeah, there you go, Alex. Just be breaking some dunes. Can Dune Breaker with Skyfall. I mean, this is Lucian colors, so we can play the combo.
Ganking,
Play some
deflect,
Triforce.
assault, accelerate. I
Yeah.
mean, this is fine. Like, he costs a power. I mean, I guess he should cost a power. This guy'd be fucking crazy if he didn't.
Yeah, he's got a few too many keywords to not, right? I'll let you talk about Ringo. Let me use the restroom real quick.
Mm-hmm. He's the skirmish promo. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, this is... What's Dune? I don't even know what the hell Dune Breaker is. Oh, stop. We're not playing this fucking shit. Give 2 or fewer cards. When I hold, draw 2. Get the fuck out of here. We're not playing this. A lot of the cards cost power, potentially play seals. I mean, I don't think you need seals in a deck that's struggling to draw. Like, yeah, I don't think you can be doing stuff like that. Seals are for decks that draw. If you can draw a lot, you play seals, but I don't think you're playing seals in a deck like this. Chinese Lucian player had Junebreaker. Don't think he drew a card off of it, but the thought was there. Yeah, the thought was there. Yeah. Yes. This is fine. Like, it's just like, my problem with this is it's still just like a 4-might unit. So like you come in and attack with it, and it like, it's still like it's still kind of just like eh. I'm pretty sure if you move it to the other side too. So if a guy comes into a battlefield and you sig spell it into that battlefield, you're the defender, not the attacker. I think because they got there first and they weren't. They came into you because you're the defender when you move in, so they're the attacker, so it won't even get the assault trigger off of that. Does Rockfall Path counter Rengar? It does. I think that is a silly way to counter it, but it does counter Rengar, yes. Yes, you give it, you just like, I mean, the Bramble is the... What's the Bramble called? Oh, it might not be in here yet. Back. Yeah, it's not in here yet. The Bramble back. If Rengar goes tier 0 on Rockfall Pathing, yeah. Get your Rockfall Pass now. Your sign Rockfall Pass definitely going to go up in value. Discard will keep Rengar in check. Yeah, maybe. I think Discard's kind of broken in this game, and they might have printed a little too much this set. We'll see.
I do think the discard stuff is interesting, especially Pike existing. You could definitely play like some sort of fairy sprite deck where you're just looping that, and you have the hook.
So we've got the Insightful Investigator. What's the Dirty Rat called?
Something hook. Just search hook.
No, it's not in.
No,
Just because it
it's
came
not hook.
For those of you who don't know,
Maybe
they
it's
printed
not
a
called
spell
that.
that's Dirty Rat, or kind of Dirty Rat. For those of you that played Hearthstone in that,
It's a better Dirty Rat.
Better Dirty Rat. Yep.
Bone Skewer. There you go.
Bone Skewer.
Bone Skewer.
Nope, that's not it.
It's 2 mana and a power in purple because obviously you choose a battlefield and then an opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a unit from it. They play that unit at that battlefield, ignoring any and all costs, and when they do, they stun it.
We need discard punishment like Baloth. Baloth is the guy that says he summons himself if he gets discarded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
He's like a 4/3 or something, maybe a 4/4.
4/4. You also gain 4 life.
Never played Magic, but I know things. Chat. I know Magic cards.
Mm-hmm. You got a Scrap Heap. Scrap Heap's your discard punishment.
Yeah.
There's all like the Jinx stuff that says when you discard it, you play it. You can play it for a power. You got the Flame Chompers.
I know the difference. I know the difference, chat, between Bora Bigmos or whatever the hell that guy's name is, and Borogomos Enraged. I know the difference. I don't know how to say their names, but I know the difference between the two of
Mm-hmm.
them. And my Python needle will never fail to call the correct one. 4/4 heals you. Bewitching Spirit. I feel like Fall Case. Flame Choppers. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, I guess Flame Choppers, but like. No, wait. Yeah, because it's you. You are still discarding it, right? All those effects say they discard it, so it still triggers. Yeah, I guess Scrap Heap is kind of a punish for the discard things, but none of the discard things are you choose right now for the most part. They're all your opponents looking and choosing. So like you're never gonna get the Scrap Heap off because they're all just things your opponent chooses. What's the other discard spell in this set?
Oh, Flame Chompers is when you discard me.
Yeah, that's what we have up on screen.
I didn't realize.
Yep. But like again, none of these cards are random. They're all choose. What's the other discard card from this set? It's
I'm just gonna search discard.
it's Dirty Rat.
The sprite?
What's the sprite?
Bewitching Spirit.
Oh. I can't type. Nope, that's not in there. Spirit. Nope, it's not in there.
It's a 3 cost for a 2 might. When you play me, choose a player. They
Oh,
discard.
yeah. That card's
In purple.
that card's interesting because that card's going to either be completely unplayable or very fucking broken. It's 2 might for 3, no power. If there's a way to continually loop it, it would be pretty solid. I wonder how many times you can play
Like,
that.
I mean, you got Pike to pick it back up. You got the pack to continue to play it. So
yeah, so pack it, play it, pack it, play it, pack it. Yeah, I guess like maybe you can clip their whole hand with it. Like that would be pretty.
Yeah, that's possible. You got to be able to like clear their board and clear their hands, but it's something that we're clearly going to be trying, obviously. So
I mean, we're
whether it's consistent or not, who knows?
Yeah, one of the day one decks I'm going to try, I'm going to boot up right away, is just Annie or Draven with pack combo. Annie chosen, probably Annie. Pack combo, Annie chosen champ, Bryn here, the resurrection spell, and just endlessly loop that trick over and over and over and over again. Just run that until, like, see how many times I can run that until it fails. You also have 2 battlefields now that create triggers at the start of your opponent's turn. So in theory, not that I think you should play these battlefields, but in theory, at least 2 of these games, you could just have it so that like you're always doing that. I don't know how many times you can skip your opponent's turn before they just lose the game. I'd like to imagine it's probably like twice.
There's the Emperor's Dice as well. That's a good point from my Twitch chat. As a way to bounce your spirit. So you got plenty of ways to bounce the spirit over and over again. So it really just comes down to if it's like if it's quick enough in order to actually matter. Because if they just have enough units, you still always have your chosen champ, and there's always going to be decks that'll counter it. If your opponent has a Kaisa in their chosen champ zone, like it's going to be sickening.
There's 2. So. So there's the one that says all units here take a damage at the start of the turn, and there's the one that says at the start of the turn you may sack a unit here to draw a card. They both create triggers.
Yes. Yes.
And to be fair, the one that says sack a unit here at the start of the turn is actually good in your deck, because when you bring here them, if you control that battlefield when you bring here, you put bring here on that battlefield, and then you sack the bring here. And then you just play another 6-drop and just play Annie, pick it back up again. If you have another 6-drop, you just repeat that. So, like, that's actually fine, too. Like, that's a fine battlefield.
Yeah, exactly. The other one is, like, irrelevant, but it's just a blank battlefield, so it's not like it's going to hurt you that much.
Pike and Emperor's Dice, he's already making me empty my opponent's hand. Yeah. I mean...
Sivir with the Spirit, Sabo, Fizz, Bone Skewer, Mind Splitter. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, it's possible that we're just playing hand rip the deck like that. That is also a real possibility. I don't know how much tempo you can. I don't know how much tempo you can give up. Like to do something like that, but like I guess you're in purple, so maybe it's possible.
Yeah,
I
that's what
do
we got to
think
test and see.
there should be I do think there should be like a Sinister Serpent, a Squee Goblin Nabob. For those of you Magic and or Yu-Gi-Oh enjoyers, I think we should have something like that. Fun little trivia question for you guys: what card do you think came out first, Sinister Serpent or Squee Goblin Nabob?
I know the answer to that.
Don't answer it, but I've asked this question before, but
Is it
it's interesting. It's
is it one that
interesting.
really gets people?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it absolutely does.
Huh. It's not even close though.
No, it is. It's very close. They both came out in the same year. That's probably too much of a hint. That's probably too much
It's
of a
just
hint.
not.
But
There's no way that's true.
what do you think the answer is?
Squee.
Nope. Serpent came out first in Japan. Look it up. Sinister Serpent came out in the OCG of Yu-Gi-Oh before Squee Goblin.
Oh, in the
did.
OCG.
Yes, and they had the same effect. Serpent came out first.
Interesting.
I don't know games. Can you show the cards? No, I'm not. They're not from this game. But for those of you that don't know, Sinister Serpent and Squee Goblin Nabob are cards that say, Squee, you have to pay mana. It's like to pay 3 mana. You can add this card back to your hand. Sinister Serpent, in its original unerrated form, said, during your standby phase, which in Yu-Gi-Oh is just like pretty much the start of your turn, at the start of your turn, if this card is in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So the point of these cards was that they were not only fodder for your discard-based effects, but if you ran into a deck where they were making you discard cards from your hand without picking, you could just pitch the fodder card. It doesn't trigger if they don't control it. Oh, okay. It didn't. So only one. The second one doesn't trigger if they don't have a unit. I didn't know that. Okay. All right.
For what?
The second one doesn't trigger if they don't have a unit there. I didn't know that. I thought it just tried to trigger anyways.
Is that true?
That's
the
what
man's
Mance
just
is
saying it, then I believe it.
Yeah. That's why I take it. I believe him.
Dusclorose Lab says you means you have to control it. Okay. Interesting. Okay, that's not as bad then if there's only one game that you can get got by. Obviously, the biggest issue is temporary becoming a mechanic as well in this game. All the temporary decks are going to always have a trigger at the start of their turn. Additionally, in purple, you can force it with the fading memories as a way to get a trigger as well. So there are ways to do it, but
you'd be surprised how many to that trivia question. You'd be shocked. Most people say Squee because Squee is just a very old Magic card. And Sinister Serpent, when you think about it, that card came out in like 2003 in America. So most Magic players, even ones that even people.
According to Dueling Nexus, you're wrong. By the way, I'll have to look this up again.
All right, I'm looking this
on
up.
Dueling Nexus. It says July 7th, 2000 is when Sinister Serpent released in the OCG.
Am I actually? Did I just fuck up my own?
Masks.
I'm pretty sure I looked this up. Hold on, Sinister Serpent.
And obviously, Masks was October of 1999, as everyone on the planet is aware. Have you all seen the 4-card Gymfinite? Yes, I've seen the 4-card Gymfinite. It unfortunately isn't a bad color combination, and it requires your opponent to kind of play into it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's good enough to be worth maining in a color combination that has no search.
And I know, unless they change the fucking dates on these websites. Damn, it was. I guess Squee did come first. However, I am almost fucking positive I looked this up before because no, wait,
I believe you.
No. This is where I saw it. Sinister Serpents was first released in. It was not. It was a card, but it was digital. It was first released in Dark Duel Stories in July 8th of 1999. Yes, I knew I was
the video game?
Yes, but it was a card. It was a card in the video game before it was released. Because I was like, I looked this up before, and I'm almost certain that Sinister Serpent came first. I'm almost positive it's Sinister Serpent. So on a technicality, I am right. It is. You can look it up. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 2 Dark Duel Stories, 1999. 0708
by three months, which for what it's worth, Squee would have been in print way before
Just
the
all I'm
argument
saying
was
is Yu-Gi-Oh did it first. That's all.
red
All I'm
yellow
saying
for the
here.
win.
It
Was
was
that
also
Vi
in
is red
Forbidden
yellow?
Memories, so
Yeah, yeah, of course. But Forbidden Memories came out
I knew
after.
I knew I was right though. That's all. I was like, I've looked this up before. I've looked this up numerous times. I'm certain there's a date somewhere that says it came out before Squee. I will hit you with
The
the
Jin
actually.
combo doesn't work unless you have the yellow token generator. No, it still generates infinite mana even without it, right? If you just have the face breaker and the Vi. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
what Frosty said.
What's
Um,
oh I mean the Jin
the
Infinite is like
Gymfinite.
the Jinfinite is
I
like
like the Gymfinite as a
the
name for
Jinfinite.
it.
I mean
Yeah.
the Jinfinite is like silly, especially since if my opponent does that to me, I'm definitely going to be upset. Because you pretty
Yeah.
much just lose. Like there is no way they just go. I guess the tokens that they make only go in the. No, I guess they get them in the battlefield too. No, they get them pushed back, right? So the tokens that they make
Yeah, the tokens will get pushed back. It'll just be infinite tokens in
in
base.
base. So like technically your opponent still has a turn to win, but yes, if you pull off the Jinfinite and they ever get to untap, the game ends, right? Unless you have like Cannon Barrage
Yes.
or the Fan of Knives card. I forget what it's called because they just like
Yes. Show us the Gynfinite. Okay.
the
So I'll
Jinfinite.
explain it
Okay.
to everybody who's
All
not
right.
aware.
So Jin,
So the new Jin.
Murderous Artist. Oh, not this one. Yeah, this one.
Yes.
Deflect,
Yes.
Yanking. Eye of the
20.
Eye
Yeah.
of the Herald. So when I move, you play a one recruit token. Jin says, when I move, you add an energy and a power. Facebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
Facebreaker is just a card that says stun a friendly enemy unit at the same battlefield. And what's the fourth card?
Fiora. The three drop
Fiora.
Fiora.
It's Peerless, maybe? No. Yeah.
No.
Fiora Worthy? Yes, here we go.
Yeah, Fiora worthy.
So, Fiora Worthy says when a unit becomes mighty, you may pay power of any color. Or, sorry, you may. Wait, no, this doesn't work. This is yellow power.
Yeah, whoops.
Doesn't Jin
Oh,
make
yeah,
red
the
power?
Jin makes
Oh,
no,
it
the
makes
Jin
rainbow.
makes
It makes
Omni
red.
power.
Okay, so for a yellow power, you can ready the Jin. So we'll go back through
Yes.
these for a sec.
Yes. So Facebreaker says you stun this and you stun the Jin. And so every time that the Jin comes in to the battlefield, it will tap himself to go in. And then, if only there is a way to make him mighty, you can use the one power that you generate with Jin in order to re-ready him and then send him in over and over again. And because it's stunned, every time you send a unit in that's stunned, it just gets pushed back to base.
But Colin, how
So,
do we make him mighty?
well, if only there was a battlefield that said everything here gets +1 might. Oh, wow. There
So yeah,
is,
so
as a
the
matter of
combo
fact.
is it's very simple. You attack. He turns sideways when he comes in, right? So he comes in sideways. Fiora immediately sees him become mighty upon entering the war camp and goes, "Okay, try to ready you." And he goes, "Okay, I'm ready now."
Yeah.
Now you facebreaker him and the thing, so neither of them are dealing damage, and the game rules says out goes Jin, kick Jin out. But technically, a draw, unlike a respawner triggering, is still a move. When a draw occurs, the attacker is forced out. So Jin gets forced out and triggers and makes another Omni power and an energy. He also makes a token with his weapon. So next thing, Jin will try to come in again. The war camp will see it become mighty. He makes the power. Fiora pays the power that he makes. He makes another token there, and then him and the token once again get kicked out, and they keep getting kicked out over and over and over again. So not only does this combo generate infinite tokens, but it also generates infinite energy. So if you didn't want the tokens, you could actually remove the eye part of this combo out of here. You don't actually need
Yeah.
the eye to do this. Like you could find something
Recalling,
else.
yeah,
To do.
the recall doesn't trigger it, but yes, moving into the war camp does. So pushing out doesn't. It's just because the unit is stunned on the war camp, your token also gets moved out. So that's the thing that generates the infinite ones. But yeah, the recall doesn't count as a move. It's a slight correction. But yes,
Yes.
it does in fact work. The only thing it technically doesn't work on is if your opponent has a one might unit on the war camp, because then your token would be forced to trade with it. So they have to have at least a 2 might unit on the war camp in order for it
Oh, when he's
to.
pushed out, he doesn't make a
Um,
power token. I didn't know that. I thought he is still in
correct.
the.
It's
Oh,
only when he
I
moves into the
misspoke
war
then.
camp.
I misspoke then. It's only when he moves in, but that
Yes.
doesn't matter because you still make a token when you move in there, and he makes 1 energy and 1 power, and you still go infinite on energy because you're not spending the energy on anything. So you make infinite energy, and you
Yes.
make infinite tokens, and then you can do whatever you'd like with that information.
Yes. And then you do this game 1, and then you have to board out your stupid combo because you're no longer in the war camp. So there's no longer a way for you to do
You're
this.
also in
So,
red yellow, which means you're in like one of the worst color combinations in the game. Sorry, you're XI fans, but it's true.
yes.
Uh, you're playing
But
you're
you
playing
get to play
Rek'Sai
Vi, I
because
guess, now.
yeah, you get to play Vi.
Yeah.
Woo wee. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Plus, it's kind of obvious when it's going to happen to you too, because they have to have the Jin in play. So yeah, there's a lot of things to do. See
Oh,
with Cleave or Blood Rush, yeah, I guess those work too. But you still need access to the. I guess that does work on the non-war camp games. So
no card draw,
that
no
now we're
unit
just
move.
now we're a 5 card combo instead of a 4 card combo. Yes, no card draw, no way to get the combo. And then it
Uh,
makes all the units in base.
Rek'Sai
So if
draws
you're playing
card.
30 at
Fake draws
6.
cards. You can play Rek'Sai.
Sure.
But yes, the
Who
real
knows? Maybe
scary
we'll
one,
throw it through.
the real scary combo will be when you have the I plus the what's the purple girl's name?
Yeah, I know that one.
Doc.
Um,
No. Stealthy something.
Stealthy Pursuer, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So when a friendly unit moves to my location, I can be moved with it. So this is just a 3-card infinite with this, the I, and what's the other card?
Renata Glass
Yep. You just have Renata Glass.
and tokens in already. So
Yep. Yep. Your tokens enter ready. You do this,
yeah
and then you use the I, and you just, yeah, I mean, you can see where this one's going. You just
yeah
go infinite. The token enters ready. This card has the I on it. You attack with this. It moves with it. The token comes back. You make another token. The token enters ready. You make a token in base, and you just keep attacking with the token and making infinite tokens. And this one's real fucking simple. This is 3 cards,
yeah
and the setup is nothing. Like, your opponent needs to have a tap out and have an open battlefield. If you have Stealthy Pursuer and I on the board, your opponent can literally never tap out. They have to make sure that they control both battlefields with more than 4 might, or
yeah
they just die. It's really that simple.
yeah.
They are
The main
just
issue with it too is that you get to, if you're able to conquer either of the battlefields, then you can set up the infinite without them being able to use action speed removal in order to stop it. So
Yep, exactly. So this is pretty much, this is a combo that they will probably, I would have to imagine this is probably a combo that they will fix just because it's like, even if it's not insane, it's just like, okay, well, like, this probably shouldn't exist, because if you ever do this, there's only a few cards in the game that get you out of this, and it's like Ruination, Cannon Barrage, the Fan of Knives.
Flurry of Blades.
Yeah, and Flurry of Blades doesn't even work if you're on if you have Traffair in War Camp. Also, those
Yes.
cards don't kill the tokens in your base. So if you make
Correct.
if you make 1 minus infinity tokens in base, 1 minus infinity tokens and on both battlefields, they can clear the battlefields, but if they're not winning that turn, you just move your 1 minus infinity tokens in the next turn.
Yes. Or you move like a fraction of them because it doesn't
Sure.
matter. It's still infinite light.
The best part is definitely going to just be like, I would like to make 2 trillion tokens.
hmm
So, yeah. Downwell, sure. But the problem with Downwell is, like, you can just play all these cards again and try again next turn. So,
Yeah, exactly. So it
yeah,
doesn't
but
really change much. So
I think
And we're also in purple, so I can just like if you're trying to use Ruination or Downwell, I can just play Abandon or whatever the new remand is.
Sure. Hard bargain.
So
Um,
hard bargain, yeah.
but
So
anyways,
and we get access to Stack Deck and Called Shot and all those cards to make sure we see it. So
I think that's about it for tonight. Unless Colin, you have anything more to add? I think we're pretty much.
against the odds is a funny one, yeah. But yeah, I think that mostly covers everything we had today. Thank you for all for dealing with our incessant rambling.
Yeah, Min, I don't
Question
know how to
about
play Catan, so that's not happening.
yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna take an Alex. You can take Alex. I'll take Anson.
I don't know how to play
I'm
Catan. I
not.
don't
I'm
really
not
know how to.
carrying him on Catan.
Yeah, I don't know how to play board game. Like I know how to play like Sorry and Monopoly, like the American ass yeah, regular ass board games, but I don't know how to play. I don't know how to
Question
play
about
the.
Riftbound tournament structure. They had China Nationals. Will there be a Worlds tournament? We do not know currently. We are hopeful at some point, knowing Riot, there at some point will be a Worlds tournament. That will just happen. Whether it's this year, next year, 2030, who knows? But there will be a Worlds tournament at some point. But they have not officially announced anything. So, um, yeah, you say it like a Google, and you have enough. But I think that covers most of what we had. Appreciate you all for hanging out with us.
All right,
Anything
that'll be
else you
all
have to
for
cover,
tonight,
Alex?
fellas. Nope, that's it.
Nope. Cool. Hope
All
everyone
right.
has a good night, and we will be doing more streams, I'm sure, soon. As soon
Yeah,
as we hear
you better
any
believe if
news.
there's a ban list in the next couple days, we will be
Yeah.
on live stream with the quickness. Like they got
Yeah.
that ban list announced at like 7 o'clock. You better believe we'll be on at 7:38. So get keep your
Yeah.
keep your internet on. Keep your yeah. I mean, I guess don't turn your internet